All right. So we're also streaming, so David, stop saying the N-word.
What, nitroglycerin?
Yeah.
Yes.
That
I just love the stuff.
one.
Narcos?
So
Start the session, please.
the others are out. This is taking place during the last session after. So you did see Hassan get whipped.
Okay.
And after that, after he was, beaten for a while, they went off to go play with some other Sabbat. But you, being antisocial,
Got stuck babysitting.
went home, and you were also put in charge of Abby Bartovich, who is Hassan's new pet.
You found her name?
I don't think you hadn't named her at this point yet. I don't think.
Huh, I hadn't know, but
Or-
how do you know her name then?
Well, I was just describing her for him. He just
Okay,
knows
fair
her
enough, fair
as
enough.
a girl. And
Okay.
we're gonna get to the point where you named her, so.
Okay.
Wait,
yeah.
this is me?
Yes, this is
Yeah,
you.
you're with
In
this.
charge of Hassan's pet?
Yep.
Mhm.
What is pet like an actual term in the Sabbath for like a human slave or something?
you haven't heard it before. But that's how it was described to you by Hassan.
Does she talk like normal and stuff?
She doesn't really talk that much at all.
God, this is weird. Alright. I'll just is there like a common room back at HQ or something?
Yeah, there's
Rumpus room.
there's the den.
The rumpus room. I will just sit in the common room reading a book from the library, and I will try to ask her to sit down, and if she just stands there awkwardly, then whatever.
Alright. So yeah. She does just stand there awkwardly for a while as you're sitting there reading your book. What exactly are you reading?
I'm trying to find
Marks,
an
angles.
occult book that could... I would like to try to find an occult book that seems the most entry level.
Alright.
The occult for dummies.
Thaumaturgy 101, your first dot.
The Life and Times of
Weirdly-
Mary the Black.
Weirdly, the Tremere do have that book.
Yeah. Alright.
Actually,
Marks, angles.
no. Are there any Bibles in the library?
Yes there are.
Alright, so they're always talking about Cain and stuff, so I guess I'll start with Genesis and see what's all the fuss about.
Start at page 1.
Which copy of the Bible would you like? New International Version? Old King James?
I suppose
The
a Catholic
Amplified?
version.
What was that, David?
Catholic version, I guess.
What version is that based on?
It's the cat.
Is it just the
Well, I
Catholic
was gonna
version?
say it's
Because it has
based on the Vulgate,
the Apocrypha
obviously.
for yeah, okay.
But yeah, but it's
Alright.
it's
Yeah, I'd imagine it's just called Catholic Bible in
Yeah.
most places.
Okay. Yeah. So the copy's in French, but that's no problem for you.
Bible Catholique.
Alright. So yeah, you get stuck in reading the Bible. And
Did you realize? Wow, Cain's part in this is really short.
yeah, he's
Like, as he's looking
Yeah.
at the rest of the book, going, he's
He's not
over
really
in
a
like 2
major
pages.
character.
he's
Like, does he come back later?
he's got some cool powers though. I mean, if you
That's not in the Bible, though. I mean,
well,
Cain
no, he
in the
does.
Bible
He
is-
does have cool powers in the Bible. Anyone who strikes Cain is thus also injured by God 7 times over.
So, All right, that's like one, but
That's a pretty cool power.
Lazy is spouting
you've
off
got,
all
like-
sorts of other queer shit that is not in this. All I'm saying. Because he's
So that's
expecting
like
to find
fortitude
Uriel.
and potence turned into one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But
I really hope after like 10 pages, Jean
even
realizes.
even with the Apocrypha, though, I mean, all the cool stuff about Enoch isn't in there either.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. The version, I mean, he's got to,
Yeah.
after about 15 pages, go,
I need the good stuff.
obviously this isn't the book about Cain.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
This is also part of his sideway around way to start justifying true faith.
All right.
What you mean? I've no idea what you're talking about.
All right, and vicissitude.
Well, they go hand in
That's
Calls.
better.
True faith does not cure vicissitude.
He's just throwing that out there.
Excuse me, Zach. The Lord heals all illnesses if you
Except-
truly believe in it.
Except
Unless he
those
chooses not
done by
to.
Zmitzi. And you accept God's will,
Welcome,
right?
Job.
Don't worry, man. It'll give you protection against the sun at least.
Maybe.
Will it? Yeah.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Job.
again. Unless God decides not to, it's probably.
Good luck. So yeah, after a little while of you just sitting there reading, kind of occasionally glancing an eye over at the girl, she, after a while, does start kind of just roaming around the place, looking around at the den.
I will attempt to warn her about the trapdoors.
Alright.
If she leaves my sight, I will have to follow her to make sure she doesn't get her stuff hurt.
Alright, she doesn't actually leave the den itself.
Okay, good.
After a little while, she goes over to the television, turns it on, and then starts looking through, like, the movie collection there, although there's not really much of a movie collection at the den. Your Haven actually has most of the films. The cinema.
I see.
It's around this point you're getting around. You're approaching the flood. People are sinning right now. In your
People are
book.
sinning. What a surprise.
yeah. God's about to wreck their shit.
Well, the flood might have some portions for vampire life and whatnot.
Like, oh, hey, antediluvians.
Have I learned what a Gehenna is yet?
Yeah, you definitely know what Gehenna is.
Alright, very good.
So, after a little while, she leaves the television, comes back over, and kind of sits down awkwardly nearby.
Alright. I'll ask her if she's okay. Does she need any, like, water or other human things?
Well, once you start mention like water, she says, she looks kind of very awkward, doesn't want to say anything for a while, then she does say, I'm hungry.
Okay, so let's see here. This haven is located in, like, a homeless shelter?
It is located beneath a homeless shelter.
Do we keep... By any chance, do we keep mortal food in the haven already?
Not that you have seen, although you know that there is a housekeeper ghoul who lives there with you.
Okay, grand. So I'll go and ask him about it. I'll tell him what the situation is.
Okay. So as you...
I'll have the girl follow me just to make sure she doesn't get lost or whatever.
Alright. So you keep a firm hold of her and lead her over towards housekeeper ghoul. And the door to his room is closed.
Okay, I'll knock politely.
Alright. After a little while, there is some movement. And then the door opens. The ghoul looks a little bit ruffled up, but you know that obviously he keeps guard during the day, so he was probably asleep. And he says, "What is it that I can do for you, my lord?"
Okay, I'll say hi. Sorry for waking you, but this person here, is hungry. Would you be able to help me get something for her?
All right. He kind of looks over at the wayfish girl, looks back at you, and then shrugs his shoulders and says, "Come in." Once you're
Thank you.
inside, he says, what does she want?
I'll ask her if she has a preference.
She looks up at you, kind of terrified, and just shakes her head.
Okay, I'll just ask him to get her something nice.
All right. So he goes over to the kitchen and then comes back with a bowl of Lucky Charms and some milk and puts it down on the table.
By any chance, would you have something more filling?
Well, first of all, she sits down and starts just scarfing down the cereal, and then he kind of shrugs and goes back in the kitchen. Oh, Stalwart's here. Well,
All right.
Hey, hello.
He's not in the chat yet, Miles.
no.
Oh, got my hopes up.
All right. There's David trying to curry favor with him in the chat.
Shut the fuck up. I knew you'd say something like that. Such a little wormy cunt sometimes, I swear to God.
All right. And after a little while, he comes back with a bowl of like macaroni and cheese and sets that down too.
Alright, cool.
So while you remain there, he doesn't take a seat. He stays standing, at attention. And kind of glaring at the girl as she's eating.
At ease, my friend.
Says, are you saying you do not require me?
Should be good from now, yeah. Just let her finish, and yeah, it'll be fine.
May I return to Slate Master?
Absolutely, please, go ahead. Sorry
Alright.
for disturbing.
It is no trouble at all. And he bows to you, and then leaves and goes back to bed.
Better fill a glass of water for this girl since he didn't give her one.
Alright. So you go into the kitchen, find a glass of water, and bring it out to her?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. I think that's what humans need. There's like a toilet somewhere.
Well, yeah, somewhere, probably. Alright, so as, once she's finished, you're heading back into the den, and that is when, the rest of the players return. I'm gonna give a second for Stallworth to come into the call and for Mary to come back into the room.
Tired?
Yeah.
Well, cut it out.
Stop being tired.
I'm cutting this part out of the recording.
You always say that, but you never bother.
I do! There are many times I cut things out. You just don't notice. You only notice when I don't cut them out.
Yeah, but I noticed that a lot.
You don't. There are only things that I intend to cut out, very rarely.
Yeah, all that space there's just there for ambience, that's the word.
And sometimes I'll keep in part of what I was going to cut out, and then only cut out other parts. Like our long-ass conversation about Super Mario Brothers in episode 4. Part of that is edited
Look, that
down.
was vital. That
Yeah.
was vital.
Well,
There's a lot of
part of it
important
was.
lore in that conversation.
Exactly. Part of it was, which is why I edited it down. I mean, it went on like a half an hour in the original cut. So that was pretty ridiculous. I cut it down to like 10 minutes or something. But no, we all...
When I visit you guys at your house, we need to play Mario Kart. That's what we need to do.
well, we've got the original N64 game.
Oh, for fuck's sake, of course you do.
I don't have a single other Mario Kart game.
Get the Wii version, fam.
The Wii isn't even hooked up. My Nintendo 64 is hooked up, my Wii isn't.
You're such a dickhead, why?
Because the Nintendo 64 is a legitimately better console.
64. Yeah, whatever.
I'll tell you
Jesus
what
Christ.
they don't have on the Wii, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
When's the last time you actually turned that shite on? Like, be honest.
Honestly, I just did a playthrough of Ocarina of Time, and we finished up on Labor Day. That was what we did, was we played Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I beat the game.
Oh,
So,
that's kind of quaint.
Monday. That I'm
What did
keeping
you
in.
do? So you say we, did you just play and Mary watched?
Yeah. I was hunting down golden skulltulas, so she
So
had
I
a guide
was reading
open.
the walkthrough and the guide and telling him where to go.
Oh, I see. Very good. Wow, that's it's such a wholesome thing you guys do.
Actually had to,
Oh, we were like high and drunk at the same time.
yeah, well, I mean, we were high.
Totally
Oh.
wholesome.
But,
Yeah, no, that's
We
a
actually
more-
had to
that's
get
bit
like a
image.
digital converter because the TV takes HDMI, not the
it
yellow.
doesn't have any
Oh, it
component
doesn't take
cables.
AV anymore?
No.
No, it's
So,
yeah, we're
Got a
that
converter, and so now you can play it on the HD TV.
I think there were several members
It's a
of the IRA
Bobby
in,
Sands
coming
thing.
from the north.
I'm explaining to Mary.
I'm not paying any
Are you
attention to
explaining Bobby Sands?
During his hunger strike, he was elected to Parliament as a protest.
During his hunger strike, he was quite hungry.
Yeah, he was
Pretty
hungry.
hungry, yeah. He holds the record of most hungry member of parliament.
Oh yeah, he was really hungry.
Also, completely unrelated, but he also holds the record for skinniest.
That's racist, Miles. He died.
I can't help it, it's in my lineage.
David just leaves the call.
I'm so insulted.
Can't believe you just threw the S word out there like that.
You know his people have not had potatoes since the famine, and they're very
for
hungry.
years, for centuries.
That was the most amazing thing when he got to New York. He's like, wait, they have potatoes here?
Potatoes.
Oh, shit.
There's no blight.
Oh, sweet Jesus, they have potatoes.
Oh my god, Mom.
Wow, pushing it.
Look, I'm already racist, I can just... I know it, there's no going back.
That was very bad.
Where the
Hello,
fuck
someone.
is Stalworth?
You know,
Like-
There, he's
No,
right there. He's here.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, all right, okay. I'm like, I haven't heard of him. He's-
Hello.
How are you?
All right. I'm like,
We discussed-
it's like, give me a second, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect it to take that long.
What you should have said was give me 1,000 seconds.
Give me 100 minutes.
Mhm.
Because that way we would undervalue. We'd be like, oh man, he said 100 minutes. He's
It's
here in
only
20.
20. Wow, that's a lot quicker. See, it's all about perspective, Stallworth.
True, very true.
All right. So, I'm
So,
going to...
Stalwart, to catch you up, I've been feeding your slave, and that's literally all that's happened.
No,
Not
it's
Star Wars,
Hassan's.
it's Hassan's.
Oh, it's Sans.
I don't mind the misconception though.
Stop.
You would like to be Hassan?
To be fair, who wouldn't?
That's true.
I would like the slave to be mine.
Wow.
He wants, where can I get one?
Did you call her a slave?
Mhm.
Is not?
No.
A pet.
Okay. Oh, of course. When you
excuse me.
dehumanize the person, it's okay, and it's not slavery anymore.
Look, if it's a pet, I don't have to feel bad for her.
Well,
If
the
it's
thing
a
is,
pet,
you do.
you have to feed it, and you're not even doing that much.
that's
you
true.
cunt.
Look, I offered.
Did you?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't.
Because we had to go off and play football with the pack there.
At that point, I had already given her over. It was officially not my responsibility.
I kept track. You did not mention feeding her at any point. That's why she was so anxious when Jean offered.
Hmm.
All right. So the rest of you return, and Jean, you can see that they're bringing a pack, the pack of Sabbath that they went to play with them into the communal haven.
So we're coming back, Sean.
And you guys are noticing him just coming out of the household ghoul's room with Abby Bartovich.
Okay.
You guys just kind of bump into each other in the hall.
Hello.
And we're coming back with the Sabbat pack
Yes.
that we just had, and we got the hunter with us.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. They have a tied up person with them,
Okay.
slung over Hassan's shoulder, or Joseph's probably.
Well, I'm not going to pay any attention to Jean and Hassan's pet. That's not my business. We've got a hunter that we have to.
Yeah, but John said hello.
I'll nod.
Okay. There's a nod
right.
from
But
Lysia.
there's torturing to be done.
Well, yeah, fair
It's
enough.
clearly much more important.
So I'm going into the prison room and opening
Actually-
the door for Hassan.
Do you need to bring Jean with you? Because you don't know if he's the one with Auspex.
Okay, so my nod will be a jerk of my head to indicate you should come with us.
Sure.
All right, there's a nod and a jerk.
That's how easy it does it. A nod and a jerk.
All right, so the cryptics go off to kind of get set up in the guest haven.
Is Yamamoto here? We should inform him of this.
It's true. Well, are you gonna bring Joseph with you? Is Joseph gonna be involved in the torturing, or does he want to be the concierge?
Well, what's the concierge gonna do?
To show him to the guest rooms and then tell Yamamoto that they would like to stay with you,
And that we have a hunter we're going to torture.
and that the other people are torturing someone.
Yeah, I'm fine with either.
All right.
So, well, that's going to be your job. So you can either torture with us, although Hassan may just send you off to...
I'll be the concierge.
All right. So, you take them around, show them to the guest rooms, and eventually find Yamamoto in his office.
Hello, sir Yamamoto.
Yes, Joseph? Why are these people here?
I just want to inform you that we went out to play a friendly game, and we came across a hunter. And I want to inform you that Hassan, Jean, okay,
John.
and Leslie are currently persuading him to give us more information.
I see. Well, have them inform me once they have, with what they find.
Yes, sir. I'll go let him know.
All right. And he dismisses you from his office. All right.
I leave.
So you head over to the torture chamber.
Yep.
All right. So, how would you guys? So the three of you, the rest of the party, funnels into the torture chamber, sets up the hunter. So how exactly are you going to go about this? What's the plan?
Right, well, who has any skills in this? My role is for manipulation and stuff like that is 6.
I have absolutely no skills in this. I'll just sit outside.
I was gonna say I have vicissitude.
That's a good one. That's useful.
So,
So I'm happy to inflict the pain if somebody else wants to question.
Starmorph, are you any good with this?
well,
well-
he hasn't come in with you yet. He's still showing them
went off
around.
To talk to Yamamoto.
No, just can't he come and help us with it if he's good at it?
When he comes back.
When he comes back, he can chip in, but
Okay.
What's the role for it?
it's gonna be manipulation plus intimidation.
You might be able to use strength or something instead if you're like beating it out of him.
Well, Lysia's gonna be the one doing the torturing.
I was gonna say I'd say unless, and I don't think he'd be better at influencing pain than I would be. With
No,
Say
that's
Scout's gonna be
vicissitude.
eating him out.
I just have 3 for that, so
All right.
Alright. So, what exactly do we want to know from him? Like, what question specifically do we want answered? Like, obviously, who he is, where he's
is
from.
this just for fun?
I was gonna say this kind of just
It's
for fun.
both.
I mean, he's a hunter. We might as well just kill him. But whatever. Let's torture him first.
All right.
Okay, but I'll at least ask him who he is, how he found out about us, where he's from, any
Hassan's
partners he
like,
may have,
I
etc.
understand, but we have to ask questions because it's not the
Like,
same if we're not asking
We
questions.
have to ask some sort of question. Right.
The fun is not in inflicting pain, it is in breaking the spirit.
All right, well,
it's
sure.
it's the measuring post that we're using to gauge how well the torture is going.
Anyway.
It's like
So-
playing football without a score, you know.
Very well then, to start off with, would you mind closing his mouth completely, like covering it?
Sure.
All right, does it?
Right then, let us wake him up.
All right. So, you guys kind of eventually get him to wake up, splash some water on him.
Good day to you. We have some questions. We have some questions, and you will provide the answers lest you be faced with incredible pain. Surely even one such as you can understand such a simple prospect, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Good. You may remove the... Well, you may open his mouth. Now, let us start. What is your name?
All right, let me look that up.
What are you looking for?
This book. All right. All right. Shannon McLaughlin.
Shannon McLaughlin. Okay. Very good. How did you find out about us and where we would be?
I could sense you.
How?
I've taken the blood of your kind before.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who you killed before?
I haven't killed anyone. Except for a few lupines. Dirty werewolves.
Yes, I understand. At least we agree on their position. But simply
way-
being able to sense, yes?
While the other two of you would probably be familiar, Jean, this is the first time you've probably ever heard of werewolves.
No, I had that explained to me when I saw
I
the
was gonna
silver
say,
bullets.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought,
So I'm like, huh, yeah, werewolves, I know all about them.
yeah. Well, yeah.
You silver. I hope it works.
But taking our blood does not mean you just magically gain the power to sense us. Surely there must be some ritual you performed.
No ritual.
Then how?
I can just sense you. I can see you're not breathing.
I see. And your hunter friends, do they have this same power?
Different powers.
Oh, go on.
I'm sure you're familiar with them. Strong. Tougher than usual. Fast.
Anything else?
No, that about it.
I'll gesture towards Lucia.
Okay, so I'll hit a nerve center.
All right. So you start vicissituting him, and he starts screaming his head off. And John, why don't you give me a perception plus empathy?
Seven.
Okay.
I'm using Oscar.
Obviously, you're always using aspects.
Grabs his head and
All right.
screams.
You're pretty sure this guy is lying.
All right, now moral
You should
dilemma.
tell us that. You should tell us that.
So moral dilemma.
Yeah.
The
No, no,
one
it's
thing
easy. It's easy.
taking-
See,
So it's
if you
bad in
don't tell us,
generosity.
if you don't tell us, we're gonna keep torturing him because we think he's lying.
I know. So it's obviously bad to be taking part in torture,
Yes.
but in
No.
the long run, it might speed this person's suffering up if I help speed up the negotiation, the interrogation,
That's true.
and also giving away information might sell out their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Their friends are trying to kill vampires, and not all vampires are necessarily evil.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm conflicted.
Well, make your choice.
So the way I see it, I mean, you guys aren't going to be fooled anyway. So this is where I pipe up,
All right.
and I'll say, you know, we could finish this faster if you start telling the truth. Your
Alright.
suffering doesn't have to be pro.
So he kind of looks over at you, with, you know, a look of terror on his face as Lysia is activating all of his nerve clusters at once.
Lizzie, why don't you stop for a second? Let's try and negotiate.
I'll glance at Hassan.
I'll not.
Okay.
Sometimes humans need a human touch, guys.
Starts jerking him off.
So sorry about this. I'm so sorry about this.
You know, a nod and a jerk, you might say.
A nod and a jerk.
Nod and a jerk.
Your final moments may be filled with pleasure or pain. Your choice.
Alright. So what's your human touch gonna be?
Also, like I said, I offer for them to start telling the truth, and we will have no need to inflict any more suffering on them.
He says that is the truth. I worked with one guy.
I'm
No.
pretty sure they're lying, right?
You're pretty sure he's lying.
Listen, my friend,
Mate, chap.
I can
Fam.
tell you're being dishonest. I can see it in your aura.
Don't divulge information about our powers.
He's dying. This guy's.
He said, he says, I don't know what you're talking about. I swear I'm telling the truth.
Can I attempt a retry on this?
Not really.
I still think he's lying.
Yeah. I mean, you can these guys don't know it, so you could pretend like you're scanning him again, and you go, "Oh no, he's telling the truth this time, shifty eyes."
No, that makes me look like a dickhead. Hey, can Hassan and Lysia please attempt? I know your rolls are going to be shit, but can you attempt perception and empathy to double check my roll?
You want me to use my two dice on it?
I do want you to use.
Sorry,
your
3 dice.
percent.
3 dice.
Hey, that's loads.
If you guys want to try to, you can.
Sure.
3 dice, you say?
3 dice. 3 perception. No empathy.
I mean,
Which can't possibly come as a shock.
you think he's lying, but then again, you were also primed because the guy who can see auras said he was lying. So as you're looking at him, you don't really know that much about body language. Yeah, it looks like he's lying to you.
And I guess Lysia will just be the same story.
Lysia's not even going to check. She knows he's lying.
She knows
Okay.
he's lying.
Lysia's angling for another willpower point.
What the fuck do I do now?
Anyway, I'm going to look back at Hassan and ready my hands to vicissitude again.
Very well.
All right.
Okay, I tried.
Dude, I can't help you.
Just gonna step back.
Just note that this suffering will end as soon as you...
You've
What?
got one more chance to tell us everything you know before my friend just sticks her hand in you again. Please.
He
For your own
says,
sake.
I swear to you. Looks into your eyes. He says, I swear, I don't have anything else to tell you.
He doesn't have anything else to talk. That could be in that sentence could be interpreted a lot of ways.
Well, you're right about one thing. You may soon not be able to tell us anything
I
else.
was going to say, because Joseph has dominate, right?
Yeah.
But he does he have the... No, he has two. He could command him.
You can command him.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, and actually, in that case, I will ask Lysia to please wait for Joseph to just come back and let him handle things. This is clearly getting us nowhere.
But this is putting the human into a very weakened state in which dominate would be most effective.
Okay, well, we can try that the first time. How about that, save your energy.
I will have plenty of energy.
I
Should this need to
have
be done
boundless energy. If anything, this is recharging the energy.
I am feeling invigorated by this experience.
It's like, it'll be more effective. It'll be more effective on him if you hold out. Like, just wait for Joseph to come back. It'll be here any minute.
You're
I'm just
saying,
imagining Leslie like shaking and breathing heavily.
You're saying like tease him a little. Like, is she gonna do it now? Is she gonna when?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Like,
But I will
it's like
have
in
to,
effective horror.
in
In
order to
effective
keep.
horror, sometimes it's the expectation that gets you more than the actual
Exactly,
scare.
but if he thinks I mean, I will have to give him small shots of pain, just to keep him, from thinking that I won't.
Oh, God.
This is when Joseph enters the room.
Joseph, thank God.
How have things been?
Okay,
We have been enjoying ourselves.
Please, just
These two look like they're having fun. Jean looks terrified.
John he's pale,
John.
he's sweating.
Please look into this man's eye and extract the truth from him.
Okay, I will do.
Thank you.
Alright, give me a manipulation plus leadership.
That is 6.
Alright. So, Joseph looks into his eyes, commands him and he still just keeps saying, "There's nothing more that I can tell you."
It's just that one guy. He doesn't have another pack of hunters.
So he wasn't even fucking lying, and I botched the roll.
Can I?
Who knows?
Unless
Can I-
Stallworth botched the roll.
That's true.
He says,
Can you like?
would Joseph be smart enough to hear, "I have nothing else to tell you," and then potentially think maybe he has something to show us, though?
Yeah. Do you wanna? That's the
Like his
angle.
guts?
Yeah.
He's ready. Got scalpels for hands. We're going in.
All right, let's try it.
So what's your move?
Well, I would like to discuss it with the rest of the group first.
All right. There's a little next to the torture chamber. There's like one-way glass that leads into like an observation area that you guys can go into.
Okay.
Very well then, I'll take out my knife and jam it into his thigh. Keep
Alright.
this safe for me while we discuss something.
All right.
He is completely tired, right? His hands like bound together
Oh,
with
no,
a resistive
he's-
course.
He
Chained
is.
to the
He
wall or
is
something.
kind of. And you guys can
Yeah.
see him through the one-way glass. So
Yeah.
once
Good,
you're in the
good.
other
Just
room-
make absolutely sure.
This is our torture room. Of course we have him bound.
Oh yeah. No, he's like manacled.
He's just sitting there willingly.
It's the torture room / surgery.
This is a Sabbat torture room, not like a police interview room.
Surprisingly little difference.
It's true. All right.
I don't remember a lot of police interview rooms that had you manacled.
The good ones.
Wait, you don't have those?
No, we don't.
Come to Denmark.
It's not like the European Union, where
Where people have rights.
where people have the special freedom to get manacled to a wall.
Yeah.
All
Great.
right.
David
Pretty cool.
supports it now. All right. So yeah, you guys head into the other room.
All right. We're ready for the plan, Stallworth.
Okay, well, I tell them that I tried to dominate, but he's still saying that he had nothing else to tell us. I tell him I found that the way he spoke that was very interesting, and that there's a possibility that even though he has nothing else to tell us, there might be something else he can show us. Even though he only said he works with one guy, there's a possibility I could try to dominate him, or we can question him about some type of base or something like that.
Could we also just try to find out more about who that one guy is?
That could also, yeah, we could do that too.
Okay. Yeah. If you need him to be in a more weakened state, I can work on that. Would that
I
be
think I think we're good right now.
Okay.
He likes him fresh before he murders him. That's just his
He
style.
likes a little fight in him still.
Yeah. As per the background, of course.
Okay.
Not a murderer.
That's
Uh-huh.
right. All right. So you
All right,
guys
so let's go back in.
head back in. So, how are you going to present this to Stallworth?
I'll let you do it this time.
All right. Well, yeah, he most likely recognized me as the dude he tried to kill.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell him that I'll do him the justice of a swift death if he can show us or tell us more about his partner, or show us where their base, where he and his partner were stationed, is located.
You want me to take you to our hideout?
So you do have one.
Of course, everyone has a hideout. You have a hideout.
Of course we do.
I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, we would first like you to tell us where it is.
I can't tell you that. I can only show you.
I I take a step back and look at my friends and whisper, potentially dominated.
All right.
And I continue, and I also ask him, would it be fine if we allow him to take us there?
He may show us the way, but he will not take us there.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
let's just get a map. Can we get a map? Have him point it out.
Good idea. Let's try that.
All right. So you bring in a map. He says, no, I have to take you there. You won't get in unless I take you.
Oh, this smells like a
That's
trap.
pretty suspicious.
Why don't you
Why
give
would we
me-
not be able to get in?
Why don't you give me a perception plus empathy, John?
7. Careful.
Okay.
Be really careful. He's giving him the Larry David look now.
You do believe that there is the duplicity in his aura is definitely still there. You think that maybe this is some kind of trap or he's lying in some way.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
I will give a look to the guys. Like, I don't know about this, guys.
And not your
Why would-
usual, I don't know about this because I'm a pussy. It's the I don't know about this because
It's dangerous,
it's
so I'm a
real
pussy.
trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Big
I'll go over to him and say, why exactly would we not be able to get in?
There are traps. You won't be able to make it.
Explain the traps then.
Well, you wouldn't trust my explanation. The only way you're safe going in is if you see me go in ahead of you. Suppose I just lied about how the traps work.
We can figure that out on our own. Explain.
No.
I stab my knife into his eye.
Wow, it's straight into the eye. Damn.
From the thigh to the eye. Alrighty.
Yeah, so he starts screaming again as you carve out his eye.
Check it out. Have you changed your mind?
He says, no. If you're gonna kill me, just kill me.
Oh, you completely misunderstand my intentions. And you severely underestimate how many limbs you have.
Alright. So,
So, right. Lucia, would you like to try again?
Sure.
alright. So this starts going on for a little while, and it's at this point that John is going to need to make a conscience check unless he wants to interfere in some way.
I can do which now?
If you want to interfere in some way, you can. Otherwise, you are going to have to make a conscience check.
Interfere in the torture, like?
Yep.
Yeah, like try and stop us. You're feeling bad.
Fuck's sake.
I read the Bible. Isn't that enough?
I mean, like... So what I need to do is get Dominic.
Or at least presence.
Yeah, that might be nice. I will attempt one more time to reason with him.
I will throw it out there just as an idea. If you could find some way to just kill him, I would also not require a conscience roll for that.
Yeah, but then everyone in my pack will fucking hate me.
That's true.
What do you mean, will?
We'll continue.
It's not fun being hated.
I guess it's okay for you to start fucking up your missions, yeah?
Look, I didn't fail it and I rectified it. My conscience
That's
is
true.
spot-free.
You'll be able to do this as long as you rectify it like Miles did.
Would you like to undergo a test of pain?
Yeah,
If you go through what I did, I will absolutely accept that you don't have anything to be sorry about.
that does not sound nice.
It only took me 6 blood points and 6 willpower points. And 7 health levels.
So, what are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Sean thinks to himself.
Time slows to a crawl as I'm coughing off an ear.
We got
As
Mr.
you're
Blonde over
cutting
here.
off an ear.
He doesn't need both ears.
It's true.
Fuck's sake, fuck this guy.
So you're gonna just let it continue?
What a dickhead.
May I make a
I'm
suggestion?
like, all I can try is to reason with him again. Like, that's really all that's in my power to do.
Well, we can listen to Stalwart's suggestion as well. Maybe he has a brilliant
What's Stalwart's
plan.
suggestion?
All that's in his power. Nah.
I was going to suggest that if we do go to his hideout, we could simply use him as not as a guide, but just have him walking.
As a meat shield.
Yeah, pretty much. And if he wants to die because of his own traps, then that way, no, it'll be nobody's fault. It'll be his.
Well, that's
yeah.
what he wanted to do.
Well, I will point out. Alright, so I will offer the scenario that we are headed towards
Mm-hmm.
and try to explain why it might not be optimal. So, we torture this guy, and he continues his act to
Mm-hmm.
the extent that he seemingly gives up and starts giving us descriptions, only for it to still be incorrect, and we, having thought that we are done with him, kill him and give him what we want. And then he's dead. He's got what he wants because we're about to go in there with the wrong information. And even if we don't kill him off, he will probably still be happy to just send us off with the wrong information, even if it means more torture later. So perhaps we go with Joseph's idea.
One more thing. If you make someone your ghoul, are they still dominated? Can they still lie to you?
Well, it's harder if you blood bond them. Although that would take 3 nights.
Ah, I see.
Do we not have 3 nights?
No, you do.
We don't know.
I mean, something could interfere, but you don't know of anything.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind claiming the man.
Alright, well, so guys, there you go. We've got some alternative scenarios here. How about let's give one of these plans a go, shall we?
Joseph the Slave Master. More bodies, he says.
Yes, yes.
Alright. Not a murderer, but...
Hey, this can be my way of saving his life, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Alright. So, is that the plan? Is everyone else okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
I suppose. Doesn't matter to me.
How much have we damaged this guy by now? How many like little fingers and stuff like that are you missing?
Nothing that Lysia couldn't put back on.
He's
Oh.
repairable. That's the whole. She's not killing anybody.
Yeah.
She's repairable. It's fine. We can do
We can
this.
put his eye back in and take it out again.
She can, yeah.
I can. So that's totally how Lysia justifies this to herself. This is not irreparable damage at all.
Jesus.
Once you have vicissitude, everything's just getting fucked up. I mean, really,
This is something Michaela would not have done.
it really changes your view of people once they're
They're just
malleable.
Yeah, you know, you take them apart, put them back together again.
So what you're saying is Michaela did nothing wrong.
No, Mikhail didn't do anything wrong.
Lysia
Good.
doesn't think that.
Wonderful. We're in agreement then. Now Star Wars plan. Let's go.
All right. So So you guys are just gonna leave him in here? Who is Joseph gonna be the one to feed him the first blood point?
Yeah.
Alright. So Joseph, take off a blood point as you force it down his throat. And you guys can just leave the torture chamber for a while.
Alright,
it's good
then.
because by this point it is basically dawn, so you guys are gonna need to get to sleep.
I will leave him with some parting words.
Alright?
This can always end whenever you wish for it to. You simply need to stop resisting.
Believe me. I wish you would believe me. John's still like, he's lying.
Yeah. He doesn't want us to believe him. He likes this.
Alright. He might.
Gets off on this shit.
Masochist is a, nature you can take.
He's regained so much willpower.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of which, you've regained a willpower point.
Yeah, I haven't used my willpower for anything because I was full up after Hassan. All right.
So yeah, you guys go to sleep for the day. So everyone takes off their daytime blood point.
I'm gonna need to feed.
Unless, I think maybe you three who were here last time, I think you guys already took off the
Did I
blood
already?
point.
Okay.
I still need
But
to
John should take off one.
feed. I still need to feed. I'm
Same here.
hungry.
Likewise.
Well, we can, if you want to meet up, we can go out and hunt.
Well, also, when you guys get up the next night, the official opening of the Litany of Blood is scheduled for midnight that night. So there will probably be a blood feast along
Another
with that.
blood feast along
Yeah.
with that. I mean, I'm peckish, but I could probably wait.
It would also, you guys might want to think about whether or not John wants to prove himself by
Worthy?
also
Enduring
undergoing
a
a
test
test of pain.
You know, because he is a little kind of a weak.
Might toughen him up.
It might prove his
Let's
worth.
have Abigail go through a test of pain.
Not me.
Well, I believe your instruction was to keep her happy,
That's right, that's right.
and I don't think that would make
Safe, healthy,
her and
happy.
And trust me, Lysia is very aware of what you're supposed to be doing, Hassan.
I know, I won't. I'm not actually in character suggesting that.
And she would be very happy if you went against that and had to be punished again.
Mm-hmm.
So she's happy to find the places where you fail.
Speaking of, I guess since I'm taking care of her again now, I'll try to find something for her to eat before I have to sleep.
All right. It's like, oh, right.
I gotta feed him.
All right. So, how are you gonna go about that?
I think I could just, if someone wanted to join me, to just go someplace and get some bread and stuff to put on it.
Yeah, man.
We
We can go.
have the mortal household guy. doesn't
He has some food, yes.
I was gonna say. Just-
If we could just like make a visit to him every day to get some basic stuff for her to do, make a sandwich or whatever, that'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. So when you wake up, he doesn't have it then, but when you wake up the next night, he'll have the groceries prepared for you. He set them outside your door.
Wonderful. In that case, I will feed her in the morning. Or evening, as it would be.
All right. So, what list of things did you order?
Well, let's see. Some vegetables, some bread, and some kind of meat. So, so she can make like a ham, cheese, with salad sandwich.
Ham, cheese with salad sandwich. Got it.
I don't know what you call that.
Usually just a ham sandwich, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, a ham sandwich then. Just making sure there's more in it than just ham.
All right.
I want there to be some vitamins for her as well.
Yeah, so she,
Trying to keep her healthy.
so you ask him to also get like some Flintstones chewables, is that what you're saying?
Get a multivitamin
Get her some
along
kale,
with it.
yeah.
Flintstones
She's gonna
triple
need some
morphine.
vitamin D because she's not gonna be out in the sunlight.
She's not gonna get enough
Yes,
vitamin D.
absolutely. Let's give her some vitamins.
Alright. So you've got some vitamins as well. Alright.
If there's anything you would like, please let me know. We can arrange for something, I'm sure.
Alright. So she kind of looks at you and then sort of looks down at the food and then just kind of very meekly says, "Thank you."
You're very welcome.
And that is the first thing you have heard her actually say to you.
Huh, I heard
And they were
worse words.
and they were kind words.
Well, they were
first thing she
words of
said.
appeasement.
They were obligatory words.
Yeah.
They were kind. You got stuck with "I'm hungry."
They were words.
Words of necessity.
All right.
I'm a good father.
You're really not.
So when you go, well, it's not really a father. That's a more familial relationship, more like a good owner. Unless you want John.
I don't think my dog has ever said thank you to me.
I mean, it has in dog language.
It's
I mean,
said
it's
like
barked. Yeah, it's expressed gratitude. Thank you.
More like that's. Oh, now I know what you mean. I didn't understand it before. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Okay, let's go.
So here's the question: what are you going to do with her when you go to pray?
Is that meant to be done in solitude? It's not right.
Keep her on me, maybe.
I mean, you can. It's just usually, you usually do it in solitude because there's no one else who prays with you.
You could try to convert her to Islam.
I think I'm good.
I'm
You
just
could
wondering
try
if
to
you.
convert me to Islam.
It's true
different.
faith. you hear Jean saying the Bible's bullshit, and you're like, you're right. Here's another book. Hands him the Quran.
I'm glad you have seen the light, brother.
Why not? I'm open to suggestions, you know. Can you get true faith as a sort of like new age type guy?
When in my
If you
games,
truly believe.
like it's a whole it's all the same God, man type guy. Would that
Yeah.
be able to have true faith?
in my games, you do have to have some sort of Abrahamic bent to it. But yeah, you can be fairly
Yeah.
new age. It's pretty lenient.
Alright.
All right. So you are taking her into the garden with you?
Well, for now, yes. As you can see what I do with my time.
All right.
It's a job shadow.
It's take your daughter to work day. All right. So yeah, she sits there and watches you while you finish. That was a
Did you
good
have-
pray.
Did you have to finish it like that? Take
Oh.
a smoke afterwards.
Oh
Look
yeah,
over. Was it good? Look over. Was it good for you too?
that was a damn good pray. Oh.
Okay.
And because your willpower is currently so low, I'm going to count this as a way to refresh your willpower, since you are conforming to your religious strictures.
All right, so that's another point.
It's not
you.
necessarily something I would give back to you if you were nearly full, but you're pretty
Yeah,
desperate for some solace at this point. And-
Lydia's full.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is there anything else that anyone else wants to do before you guys head out to the opening of the litany?
Feed.
I was gonna say I'll make some.
Feeding would be nice.
Also, Joseph, if you want to feed him another blood point,
yeah.
take off another blood point.
Feed the ghoul. I'll check on the hellhounds, make sure they're happy, and then yeah, anybody who wants to feed, I would be willing to go with.
I'll feed him again.
Okay. So Joseph, Hassan, Lysia, you're going out to feed. Sean, are you going to join them?
Sean, you hungry?
David.
Oh, he BRB'd.
God damn it! Say it instead of just typing it.
All right.
And you know, if I blood bond this person and somehow, some way, let them live,
Keep him alive.
the things this person is gonna have to do, man. Just wait till I get Dominate 3 and I can change his memories.
Whoa!
Jesus.
Whoa!
Hassan is fucked up.
Joseph, man, this is Joseph. Going
You're gonna implant Madison's memories in him so that he thinks that you pretended you took the rap for his murder and that you're both lovers.
Now,
Anyway,
that's interesting. 'Cause then I can just get Lesia to change him to a woman.
I could.
But you could do that as well.
I performed some of the best. sex
And then you
operations.
could change Madison into a man.
And I could change Madison into a man.
Ooh.
I can change you into whatever you want to be as well.
Yeah.
I like being Joseph.
It wouldn't be gay if Lisa changed to you into
Lysia
a
is
woman
thinking
first.
about changing her appearance. She has been thinking about this.
Yeah.
So, if
Alright.
one episode she comes out as something other than.
So David's back. Do you
Okay.
want to go feed with the rest of the party?
Sure.
All right. So everyone heads out to feed. Where are you guys gonna go?
I don't know. This is the first time I've really gone out hunting with these
Yeah?
guys. So I will.
Is there like a nightclub or something?
Yeah, you could go to a nightclub. All right. So that's the plan.
Yes, I guess.
Sure.
All right.
So, lead the way, Joseph. I'm going to assume you know where the nightclubs are.
Yes, indeed. All the happening spots.
All right.
All the happening.
So you
It's how he says it too. All of the happening spots.
you go. You look up on your phone nightclubs Montreal and find one.
No, he
Also-
looks on his phone happening spots.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Are we in the van? Is Mexican radio playing?
That's true. Yeah, it is playing. So I'm just going to post the link up there.
You gonna give us the link? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Needed that.
Oh no.
Just do that. Alright. I wish I could play it here softly enough, but I'm not sure if it would come through on the video or not. There you go. So that's the song that's playing on the radio.
Let's see. Oh, fuck's sake.
It's the tape, right? There's a
Oh, yeah.
There's the never-ending tape that we can't get.
Mexican.
Yeah. So it's not like
radio.
it's on the radio. It's just every time. you
Well,
turn
I
it
mean,
on.
it is on. I mean, it is the car radio that is playing it, but
Right.
no, it is not a radio station.
Right. So it's just this song over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And somebody turned the radio back on after we had turned it off because I think
Yeah,
we turned
it
off
was
a
turned
while.
off the last time, but when you turn on the van,
It's just
someone
always
may
on.
have used it in the meantime. It's been a little while, but yeah, it's on. It's playing.
Okay.
All right. So who's driving?
Joseph, I think, because he's the only one who really knows.
Jean also knows how to drive.
I can drive.
I just like to give Jean chances to prove himself since he has very few in most ways. So I can drive.
Yeah.
Lisa just gets in the back. So
I can
she
drive a
has
car.
Absolutely no intention.
All right. So who is like humming along with the song as you're driving the
Me.
nightclub?
I'm nodding my head.
All right. So you guys stop off outside the nightclub, and it looks like kind of a very mainstream sort of. You can hear like top 40s playing inside. It looks like kind of a mainstream club.
This will be interesting.
All right. So you guys head inside. The four of
You do
you.
realize I'm like a voodoo I got like the whole turban and
Yeah.
and dress thing going on. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this works. But Lizzie walks in, no problem. This is all
Yep.
fine.
So you guys are let in, and yeah, it's a nightclub. You're the four awkward people standing at the door.
Well, I was gonna say, Alicia will just walk up to anybody that she finds remotely attractive and attempt to. I don't know.
Well, what is it that you're saying to Jean, then?
No.
Ah,
That's a joke, obviously. It's Hassan that's attractive.
Yes,
Ah.
but I wish.
Am I?
But I wish to
both,
I haven't-
feed,
both two
so-
appearance.
He's the bad boy. He's the Fonzie.
He's an ugly Toreador. How do you even get that?
No, that's John. Fonzie is the bad boy.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway.
Persian Fonzie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's my role going to be? Manipulation plus subterfuge or something?
Well, it would be probably, to start with, appearance plus, to start with, appearance plus etiquette.
Okay, that's 2.
Alright. So, a good start.
Uh-huh.
Alright. And then manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay, that'd be 4.
Alright. You're not having much luck.
Huh. Alright. Have to step back and
Reassess.
reassess the situation.
Hassan, as you're just kind of standing around after a little bit, a woman does approach you and asks, if you're here with anyone.
Oh, I am not.
Well, she asks if you would like to join her to dance.
I would love to.
Alright. So, as you guys are all standing around, you try and fail to talk to people, come back in the group, then a woman just comes up to Hassan and just drags him off. I assume doing the Steven Seagal thing from True Justice, where he's like, "Do you mind? I mean, I guess I could." Well,
Oh, look at me. I'm so... Anyway. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm going to
Do you need a dex roll for dancing?
Yeah. Give me a dexterity plus
He just stands there and bobs.
dancing
his head.
specifically if you have it, but otherwise athletics.
It's just dexterity 5.
All right.
Quote unquote, just can I dodge around on the battlefield?
I mean, you can try and duck this girl. Like,
Tactically dodging around on dancers.
sorry, I'm looking for someone attractive. Hey, Jean.
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you're able to dance pretty well, and after a little bit, she tries to start leading you off into a secluded alcove.
Well, of course I will join her. It's
All right.
obviously a trap, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, so she starts, making out, kissing, and you do have the opportunity to feed if you wish.
I will.
Yeah, so you're able to take 2 blood points safely.
I will do so.
Although, as you're drinking it, it seems really bland and unfulfilling. It's basically the vampire equivalent of oatmeal. I mean, it's filling, but it's just not appealing.
Speaking of, I'm actually quite hungry.
Yeah, same.
Same.
So-
I didn't get my dinner at the start of the game like normal.
Damn.
Oh, poor you.
We'll have a break for dinner in the middle of this. But yeah, it's just,
You
yeah.
were assigned where to partake as well.
Yeah, it's just not as exciting as feeding could be.
I'm aware of that. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll manage.
All right. So, Joseph, what are you doing?
Friends, I offer you a proposition.
Let's hear
I was
it.
going to say,
You
Lysia's now back
dominate a
around
bunch
here,
of
too.
people for us.
Yeah. Yeah, because my tactic wasn't working. I may need your help here, Joseph.
Because we suck.
Yeah, man, sure. I'll just go find first 3 people I can just look, very healthy, and I'll go and tell them, hey, come with us for a little bit.
All right. So, just before this goes too far, do you guys have a plan for what you're going to do with him? Because he does not have the dominate level that lets you then remove the memories of him mind controlling them. And they do know that they've been mind controlled once it's over. Well, they know that, well, someone gave them a weird command and they just obeyed it. They don't necessarily know it was mind control, but...
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case, can I just
You need to get dominatrix, man.
Yeah.
I'm almost
Unless
there.
you guys just
Right
wanted
there.
to kill the person once you were finished.
Nah, let's not do that. Can I just like charm them to come
Ghoulize
with us?
them and then turn them into another slave? Is that?
Nah.
So what were you thinking?
I could I suppose I could try to just charm them
Mhm.
into coming with us instead of actually mind control them.
All right.
I don't think you'll be able to charm people into like.
Like the threesome of the,
Yeah,
of the
The foursome.
the voodoo priestess, the nerd, and you.
See, the thing that
You guys are basically the YMCA. You've got an Indian, you've got a voodoo lady.
The thing about me is that not only is Jean awkward and all the rest, but he also would feel like he's kind of cheating on his wife.
That's true.
Very
You are gonna be cheating
uncomfortable
on your
with this
wife.
whole situation.
So no sexual liaisons. All right. So maybe
I
Jean,
think I'll just. Yeah,
maybe you and I, we need to go somewhere other than a nightclub.
yeah, I think so too.
You guys could both go to the art gallery and feed on his wife.
Okay.
No,
You don't have to kill her.
no.
You could just take some blood. She's got enough for both of you.
I say
I
we
don't
just go
think-
find some bums in an alley somewhere, knock them over the head.
Drain him.
You see, Jean won't like that.
Well, we don't have to drain them. We can, you know,
Siphon from them.
yeah.
So is that your guys' plan?
No.
I mean, what would make you feel bad about drinking from the bums?
I mean, knocking out some innocent guys is pretty douchey.
Okay, so that make you feel bad. That make me feel bad.
Okay, wait. Alright, so I know this is a different setting, and it's pretty weird in the modern setting, but could I try the old Joshua trick of just offering them money? Remember Joshua used to do that in the Dark Ages?
Like give them a coin.
you're gonna
or-
try and find a prostitute? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, is it? Or I mean, if we're in a, you know, Lisa's just gonna go up, knock the guy on the back of the head, and
Yeah.
take a couple points.
So, I think we could. I'll do the homeless thing, except I give him money in exchange.
Jean
without
wants to
knocking
walk
him
up and
out.
go, here, $10. Let me grab a point of vitae.
I'm gonna
Basically,
just say this. I mean, you're gonna basically be looking for a prostitute because anyone who's going to accept that deal is going to assume you want some kind of sex.
You probably are better off with a prostitute, but we can find one of those
alright,
too. That's
alright, fine. I guess I'm looking for a prostitute.
All right.
Alright.
That's not cheating.
Well, so yeah, I know.
You're not going to let her actually touch you. You're just going to take a couple pints.
You're just going to bite onto her neck and,
And then-
take
and
her
drink,
vital
and then-
fluids.
and then
Bite
out.
you
onto
are not
her
gonna
neck
touch her
and then
otherwise.
take her blood and then say, "Okay, done. Thanks. Bye."
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Joseph, you want to come with us and knock out a couple of bums?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
So I'll
So-
try and get Hassan's attention, but if he's done with
He's finished by this point.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
anyway,
We spent that long strategizing.
Yeah.
yeah, apparently.
It took you guys a while.
You know, this
Before you realize there's no way for you to relate to an actual person.
So, you know, although Hassan, it seems to be working okay for you. This place, you know, we're not getting much joy here, so we're going to go out and try a different plan.
Very well.
Are you going to go with them, Hassan?
Of course, I will not be left alone.
All right. So you guys start looking around the alleys. So someone give me a perception plus alertness.
Let's see. 6.
Okay.
Same.
Well, you're looking for a different type of person, Jean, so I will roll yours separately. Alright. So, Jean, after pretty much no time at all, you're able to find a streetwalker and proposition her.
Alright. Does she accept?
Yeah. So you
All right,
take her
so-
off into the alley and drain a few blood points.
Basically, yeah.
Alright. It's gonna be an interesting... Honey, I need more money. I'm hiring prostitutes.
To drink from.
Speaking of which, you are running low on cash.
Oh god, actually.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take that as it comes.
Okay.
How many more prostitutes have I left in my money?
No more. And also,
Shit.
your, like, credit cards are basically at the max because of all the guns you bought recently.
Yeah, you've been making a lot of
Shit.
purchases for us.
Alright.
So you could get more money, but you're gonna have to talk to your... You're actually gonna have to go and talk to your wife about it.
Alright.
Since she's handling your business for you. Alright. And you guys... Hassan finds you guys a bum.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even gonna bother making Stallworth roll. He just clubs the shit out of this guy. So are you actually going to...
Can we only find the one?
No, you can find some more.
Okay.
Give me,
Then I
well,
would-
the rest of you guys give me perception plus alertness rolls as well.
4.
Okay. And Joseph?
2.
Alright, over the course of your travels, you're able to find 3.
Okay. Then I'll only take a couple of points.
Okay.
I could still use a point or two, by the way. So if there's one available, I'll take one.
So
Alright.
if there's 3, there's one
So you
for
guys
each
can
of us.
gain 2 each.
Cool.
Unless you want to drain more from yours, but...
And it is...
I'll be nice. I don't kill that when I can avoid it.
Unlike Joseph.
I'm like Joseph. I was going
Wow.
you drained yours dry, right?
Wow. I don't kill people.
He didn't.
I'm a good guy.
Madison did, and he is
Except for all of
willingly
those-
taking the blame for it.
Except for all of those people he killed.
That's love right there.
Anyway, I mean, this was the guy that was like, oh, I gotta kill this guy. I gotta kill 10 people?
I love that in the Sabat
Okay.
pack, everyone is just gently teasing Joseph about how they think he's a murderer. He's like, nah. I don't kill people. And
you know
Eugene
what
is there
you did.
sweating bullets. Like, no, his girlfriend threatened my wife. She's in
Yeah.
danger. Don't upset him.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh. And then you turn the car keys and Mexican radio starts playing.
Alrighty. Better get back. It's almost time for our,
Yes, you guys
Our
have
thing.
to head over to the Black Cathedral for
To
the
the litany
opening
of-
of the litany. And when you guys arrive there, it is basically packed.
wow.
All the Sabat in the city are there, and nomad packs have been busting in from all over the place for the event.
This is a big event.
And there are just like dozens upon dozens of humans hanging from meat hooks in the ceiling.
Okay. Well then, yeah, we'll take some more. Because if I can fill up, I need 6 more. Can I fill up at this place?
Yeah, well, you can't quite fill up, but, I mean, well, you could. It would be rude. Kind of,
okay.
you're expected to take maybe, like, 2 or 3, and then, you know, obviously, kind of like,
Oh,
yeah,
there's-
potluck
well, I
in
was
real
thinking,
life.
you
If
know-
there's more around when you're finished,
I was gonna say.
yeah.
I don't like just go over and drain 6.
yeah, over the course of the evening.
I would sup from one, talk,
Yeah.
sup again.
Yeah,
sort
so
of-
you guys can
but
take,
over
like,
the-
2 blood points to start with, and then get
Okay.
more over the course of the evening.
Okay.
You just don't want to be the asshole who goes over at the
No,
beginning of the party and just starts loading them.
You can only do that after 12 lashes with the cat o' nine tails.
Yeah, that justified it. So, Yamamoto kind of, as you guys are coming in, he kind of puts a hand on Jean's shoulder and he says, "I understand you would also like to undergo a test of pain this evening."
That is incorrect.
I knew you were too much of a bitch.
Yes,
That is correct.
that is correct.
But if anyone else would like to, he says kind of seriously to the rest of you, you need only make the announcement. And then he goes off.
What do you get for that?
Prestige,
You get
honor,
and prestige.
glory.
Shit.
You prove yourself a man.
I'm good.
You convince the others that you're not a huge bitch.
I'm still good.
It's basically the only way you're gonna do that.
They still think I'm a murderer, so I'm alright.
But we could use a sort of run the gauntlet sort of test of pain to, really prove that you're a good man.
You starting to tempt me.
Like if you really wanted to, show your
You got enough people here for a hell of a gauntlet.
Oh man, it would be an awesome gauntlet. Oh, which reminds me, I was going to tell you, I want to get those cattle prod taser sticks.
Yeah, you can look
the
into
running.
getting that.
Okay.
You're gonna need John to pay for it.
Well, yeah. So, but I'm going to bring that up to Yamamoto. That should we ever need to run the gauntlet, we really should have those.
Yeah, he can take it out of the Yamamoto money. It doesn't always have to be me paying.
Yeah,
for
when
it.
you brought it up to him, he said you should talk to Jean about it,
Oh, okay,
and he'll
so,
arrange the purchase.
Okay, so I'll let Jean know here soon.
All right. Yeah, you'll have plenty of time during the course
Yeah.
of the party
Okay.
to approach him and talk about
To
it.
approach him and discuss with him and tell him that Yamamoto has authorized a purchase of these cattle prod sticks. Yeah.
All right. So as you guys are just kind of mingling around, you overhear there's a lot of rumors going around. One of the big things is that obviously Cardinal Strathcoma is there for the official opening. But in addition to that, Charles VI, who is one of the main contenders for the next regent of the Sabbat, is also in
this is
attendance.
Who's he big what's it here?
And apparently he is going to be performing a sermon of Cain.
I am excited.
All right. So, you guys can mill around, feed, take your 2 blood points, and
Is that 2 more blood points?
no, that was the
My
original 2.
Okay.
I'll let you know kind of over the course of
Okay,
the evening
that's
when
fine.
you've had the opportunity to kind of politely, unless someone does want to just
No, I
break etiquette.
was not speaking for them. Lysia, very polite. Will not break it
I don't know if Jean's just going to fill up.
because he doesn't care anymore. Think I'm a bitch, Yamamoto? Let me embarrass the pact.
Maybe when my willpower is higher.
All right. Yeah, so there are, it looks like some humans are already dead that you could feed from, but others are still alive, and some of them are awake and screaming. So it's kind of up to you which one you would prefer. Unless no one has a preference, in which case.
Would it weigh on my conscience to be drinking from someone already dead, or is it better just not to take part in such a thing in the first place?
There's no role required, there's no conscience, but if you're... it doesn't help progress towards true faith, let me put it like that.
Yeah, alright, I will have no part of this.
Alright. Just prostitutes for me. Like
Just
like a real holy man.
Not.
Hey, I'll have, the holiest man of all hung out with a prostitute.
He wasn't paying her for services, though.
I'm sorry, in the Da Vinci Code, yes, he was.
He wasn't paying her. And she had
Well,
stopped being a prostitute by that point.
She was giving it to him for free.
John, you could take from some people that are already close to death and just,
Out of their misery.
yeah.
No. Nah.
Hey, some people,
I don't know about that.
some of these dudes, they'll mess around, they'll make them suffer. You can just, go ahead and give them up to God.
Shit.
You
Shit.
could,
Well, that is one way of looking at it. I don't know about that now.
you can also just feed from one of your friends as well. If they're filling up on blood, you could just ask to share blood with them.
I mean, that's only adding one layer of removal. I'm still if they
Increases
feed
my
from
blood
these
bond to
people, and then I feed from them, they're just gonna feed from more people.
That's
So
true.
it's really the same as feeding off of them.
So it would be better to
like
just feed
Stalwart.
directly than you don't increase the blood bond.
I like Stalwart's idea, though. What would it be? How would it go if I were to take the angle that it's like mercy killing?
It is still, well, like I said,
Depends on
there's
your
no
conscience.
conscience roll.
So, okay.
But it is still killing. I'm just going to say that.
Remember
Yeah.
to get on your paths or whatever. You need to be going for the upper, not just the next dot, but the upper dots.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. So how many dots of true faith do you want?
I don't know. Actually, I think there might be an argument to be made though that killing the people who are almost dead, is like putting them out of their misery. It's actually a nice thing to do.
That's an argument that definitely works at lower levels of humanity.
That argument works fine for me.
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
once
Joseph
again,
is
my
like,
favorite.
This one near death.
My
Out of
favorite
its misery.
quote from Stalworth in this game so far, I am barely human.
Joseph
I'll
has lower
eventually start
humanity
working
than
my
all
way
of
back
them.
up.
He's fucked up.
Yeah. You have lower humanity than Lesia.
He pretends he's a nice guy and not a murderer as
Yeah.
part of this elaborate game as he's doing fucked up stuff and enslaving people.
Lower humanity than Lesia.
I can't deny it.
The vicissitude freak over here.
But then again, it fits with your old pack. They were the polite, helpful young men.
Yes,
So
that's true. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
All right, so I'm doing nothing
All right, doing nothing. All right.
then.
All right. So, after a little while, the cardinal steps forward, and then he says, "The ceremony will commence." And you see the librarians, the pack that is entrusted with the keeping of the... It's a big ceremony. But like if you've ever seen like the weird Catholic ceremonies that they have in places like Spain or whatever, where they have all the different items as this procession goes through. That's basically what it's like here. They're burning incense. And then you can see, from where you are, you're obviously not that important. Yamamoto is up much closer. But you can see as you pass by, it is a book bound, made out of human flesh, which is... You catch just a glimpse of it, which is brought up to the front of the
I know what
congregation.
this book is.
It is the Litany of Blood, which holds all of the... It's basically the chronicle of the Sabbat.
All right.
And so, one of the things that's going to be going on during this conference is people are going to be jockeying to get their pack's exploits put into the Litany of Blood.
Okay.
So a lot of that's going to be more important people than you during it. This is just kind of the formal opening ceremony.
Oh yeah. No, that's...
But they take it, and then the cathedral opens it to the last page, which only is partially written, and then holds it up so everyone can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone obviously applauds.
Yay!
And then he puts it on a pedestal, and then a large glass, like, container, like you see at a museum, is put over it
Yeah, put noise
to preserve it.
Got it. Woohoo!
And then you see a dapper-looking man
Dancing.
step forward, dressed in definitely out-of-date attire, but he looks sort of like a Civil War era Spanish gentleman. Spanish Civil War era.
Mm-hmm.
And he steps forward. And he says, "I am glad you were all here tonight."
Woo!
Are you ready to rock, Montreal?
Yes! I assume that is pretty much what the
Yeah.
crowd, like everything this guy says,
Yeah.
we're screaming and dancing.
It's with this many people, it's a very chaotic.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can't even hear what he's saying. But he says, "We are here to celebrate the history of our sect and our war against the antediluvians. Together, we are strong, and nothing can oppose us. And we will begin to list the victories we have scored against the ancients who would bring about Gehenna, and their Camarilla pawns. And then he says, like, some more stuff, but really, like, the crowd is just drowning him out at this point. But they definitely seem into it. And he says, then finally, at the end, he says, enjoy the feast, revel in what it is to be vampires.
Lizzie is ready to just go into frenzy. She's already
Yeah.
into that.
And let the festivities commence. And then, at that moment, basically everyone goes nuts. There seem to be a number of people kind of throughout the crowd using presence and dementation.
Okay.
So you can definitely feel some supernatural effect
I'm
on
totally
you, but
open. Lysia has opened herself.
yeah.
I am not opening myself to it, but if I get affected, so be it.
Once the blood starts flowing, your self-control roll is going to be well over 10, so you're opening yourself.
Okay.
But you guys can, if you guys want to just sort of ride the wave of the frenzy, you guys can basically choose who you would like to feed from. If there's someone in particular you want to share blood with.
I have to look at mine. Who would I be? Well, of course, if Olivia is around anywhere.
Yeah, like with Olivia, I'll live with her.
If Olivia's around.
If Olivia's around anywhere.
You notice that Olivia seems to be nearby Jean.
All right.
Want to do one to me instead?
It's the club of people that want to sleep with Olivia, but
this
are
is
going to settle for each other.
This is what has happened. Both Lysia and Hassan look around, spot Olivia, see she's elsewhere. They give an awkward look to each other.
And then just kind of shrug and start tearing off clothes.
Shrug and offer their wrists. You know, it's... Which, yes, Lysia will do.
Very well.
All right, so you guys just go after each other. Jean, you can definitely feel the effects of presence and dementation taking a hold over you. It's up to you if you want to try and resist.
I would like to try to resist and leave the premises.
All right, self-control.
3.
Okay. So you are managing to keep a hold of yourself so far. As you're kind of trying to steady yourself, you feel a hand around your arm. And you can see that it is your sire, Olivia, next to you.
Hello, Olivia.
You're in the middle of basically a mosh pit at this point. There's
Sorry,
like,
it's
hello,
been 2
Olivia!
weeks. Sorry. Hello, milady.
So she says, she gets very close to you and kind of says in your ear, leaving so soon?
Yes, I have to clear my head, if you don't
Looking
mind.
for a quiet spot, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere away from all of this, you know.
Alright, she starts leading you out of the main mausoleum area itself, towards the crypts.
Towards what?
The crypts.
The little, so
there are, like... Oh,
Yeah,
you
he
weren't
wasn't
here
here.
for
He wasn't
that.
here last
Right. So there are, like, alcoves off the main drag of the cathedral, which are crypts, and each pack in the city basically has a crypt of their own, which they have sort of personalized.
So we had spent time. Jean would know about them because
John, in character, you know about it because you were there. They took your picture because in the Seven Samurai Crypt, they have pictures of all the various members.
We have a new picture of our group, and Yamamoto told us stories, and
Yeah.
it was all good.
Okay.
So she starts leading you into the crypts.
Okay. Is the dementation on presence going down?
The dementation is.
For fuck's sake.
You feel very close to Olivia right now.
She's so beautiful.
You are very lucky that she decided to choose you as her child.
Because you saw the awkward look exchanged by Lizzie and Hassan.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely saw
as we
Lizzie and
were
Hassan
walking
coming for Olivia, and then being left with each other.
That was awkward.
So she takes you. She starts leading you towards the crypt of the widows. Unless you want to go somewhere else.
I would like to leave the cathedral.
Well, that's not going to happen. So the widow's crypt it is then.
I would like to leave the cathedral.
She has a very firm grip on you, and as embarrassing as it is, she is significantly stronger than you.
Why is that embarrassing, Zach?
Well, she is a... You are a nerd, to be fair.
Fickle Mary.
But she is a slight-looking woman.
And I'm a slight-looking man.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
I was
But,
not
yeah.
considering that part of it.
Yeah.
So it's
Anyway.
only embarrassing for Joseph when she's stronger than him.
Damn, she's
Yeah.
stronger than me.
Don't fuck with her.
That would definitely look funny if she was like overpowering Joseph.
All right. So she takes you in, and you can see that this place seems very elegantly set up. There's like a big bed with like, expensive-looking sheets and things on it. There are like portraits that look like, in pictures, they're actually painted, and they look pretty impressive. It looks like actual artistic work went into it. And as you're kind of looking around, I am going to require a willpower roll.
Sorry, as I'm looking around, what?
As you're looking around, I am going to require a willpower roll.
Because you're going to be entranced
Ah,
as a
yeah.
corridor.
5.
There are some incredible pieces here.
Especially as an art dealer.
Uh,
Holy cow.
So there is one piece that particularly catches your attention. It's a strange-looking vase with an emblem on it of what looks like some kind of mask. It looks very old. But yeah, you just kind of are looking into the mask's eyes. Just staying there.
Oh,
You have
God.
no idea for how long. And then when you kind
Until
of...
you realize you're naked.
And as you're coming to your senses, you are undressed. And you can kind of feel Olivia, who is also undressed, leading you over towards the bed.
Do I have control over myself?
You are no longer entranced.
I will attempt to break free, and I will voice my displeasure at this.
How, exactly?
Milady, wait for a second, please.
What is it, John?
I cannot do this.
Why not?
Because I am in a committed relationship.
Oh, John. I understand that you may have certain feelings towards me. But you understand nothing sexual can happen between us.
Ah. Then what is this?
I am your sire. I am, I look on you like my child, which you are. This is merely the sharing of blood.
I believe this is... the state of undress is unnecessary.
Jan, you have nothing to be ashamed of about your body around me.
I cannot go further with this, milady.
I am the one who remade you. And I love you just as you are.
After success leads you to do some enhancements.
I cannot go further with this, milady.
Jean.
I am avoiding eye contact.
She's not
I'm
going to try and
turning off
dominate you,
Oscar.
but you are going to have to make a willpower check.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm turning off aspects as well. Willpower is 5.
Alright. So this is the initial roll to avoid the vinculum. Afterwards, you're going to have to spend a willpower point to overcome your low self-esteem flaw, assuming this works. I figured we try the
Okay.
roll first before the point is spent.
Okay.
Wow. Not only is it a failure, it's a botch.
Let's see.
So, needless to say, your willpower, in light of your desire for her, does break down. Once you're no longer with her, obviously your vinculum kind of wears off a little bit, and so you may, feel guilty or however it is you think you would feel. But in the moment, you cannot resist your desire for her.
All right.
And the two of you share vitae with one another. All right.
Yep.
Joseph, what are you doing?
Uh,
Are you
Well-
going to try and resist the group frenzy?
yeah, I'll try.
All right. What's your self-control?
3.
All right. You actually do manage to resist it.
Excellent.
So the people you murder are going to be a choice.
Damn, I gotta murder people.
Well, obviously you don't have to, but you can.
Oh well, in that case, I'm not gonna murder anybody.
Mm-hmm. All right. I understand.
He wants to join Lysia and Hassan in a threesome.
You do notice that Hassan, are you just sharing blood, or are you guys going, like, all the way on the floor there?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I wasn't actually.
Are you guys actually, like, going all the way on the floor,
Oh, I
or are you
thought
guys
that's
just
fine.
sharing blood with one another?
I figure just sharing blood.
Lysia's open to anything.
Mary wanted to say go.
Hassan
Well, if you
is
take the lead, if you take the lead, I'll follow.
Then yeah, no, they're doing it on the floor.
right.
Lysia's on top.
So you guys find... Wow. So you, as you're kind of looking around, you see that Lysia and Hassan are tearing into each other, just, like, going at it. Just fucking on the floor, basically, and sharing blood with one another. And, obviously, since you offered...
If I
you spare a moment...
If I catch Joseph's eye, I beckon him over.
I do my best to not look at her.
Miles,
I would-
spend blood points to activate your member.
Yeah, everyone...
I'll kind of
female
defeat the
vampire.
point.
Both of you
Does
have
the
to...
female vampire not have to activate?
You both have to spend a blood point to activate yourselves. It's more necessary for the male vampire to do it, but both should.
But we're
Well, I
Uh,
figured
but
the
we're
female
swapping
should
blood,
have to
so
spend it
it's
to
a-
Well,
create a
you both spend
lubricant.
one, and then you're both sharing,
Oh,
so you don't lose any on top of that. Although you can feed from the humans once you're finished.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
All right. I'd just like to point out that this is absolutely, most definitely participating in a group right, which is part of my hierarchy of sin.
All right, there you go. Hey, good job. Good job.
So, you know,
She were very impressed with me.
You're promoting
Yes.
team spirit.
that was the whole reason I was,
Yeah.
trying to get you to, I was trying to help you out.
So you guys
I
can
appreciate it.
increase your vinculums to one another.
Yeah, I've already done that.
All right. And obviously the same for Jean towards Olivia, if that mattered.
No.
And the rest of the evening kind of passes. Those of you who are still in the mausoleum are free to gain a further, 3 blood points off the humans before they kind of start to run dry.
All right.
And so, meanwhile, back in the crypts with Jean, once you guys are finished feeding with one another, kind of like she did when you left the last ritual early, Olivia will just kind of hold you against her, stroke your hair, and ask,
Well, after the feeding, have I calmed down enough to regain myself?
a little bit, although you're still very, very, very fond of her.
Alright, so I
Got blip
can't
onto
attempt to
10.
leave.
Yeah. What was
So I
that,
can't
David?
attempt to leave.
You're not gonna leave.
You
don't
could,
wanna
but
leave.
you don't necessarily want to.
I mean, this is fine.
I will.
Nothing sexual
I
has
will
happened.
try to will myself. I will try to will myself to say that I need to be alone.
All right. What is your willpower? Was 5?
Yes.
In some ways, although you obviously have a lot of emotions going through you right now, you do kind of, you're like, I want to be alone, but your voice kind of cracks, and you feel like maybe you want to just pour out your heart to her.
What?
Confession is good for the soul.
You just got, you don't really, you want to be a good person, but then you're also,
Things were just a little
you're
bit better.
conflicted.
Yeah.
Can I choose?
You can, although it's clear from your emotions that there's something wrong, and she's kind of looking at you.
Tell Mama.
Pumpkin, is something the matter?
I'm beginning to resent this lifestyle.
Is that how you put it?
Yeah, I guess.
I understand. The transition is very hard.
I do not enjoy the way any of you treat me.
Are you having problems with your pack?
Yes.
They scare
I also
me.
do not appreciate. I also do not appreciate the way you are treating me, Melissa.
Well, once again, I will say, emotionally, you kind of do appreciate it right now, at least while you're in her direct presence.
So can I not say that?
Yeah, you really don't. You're not going to feel that way until
can't
you're
feel that way.
completely on your own.
Yeah, alright, I getcha. So I'll leave it at the pack thing then.
Well, maybe. What kind of things do you enjoy doing that they enjoy doing too?
It's not torture. Okay? I know that. It's not torture.
Spending my money. I don't actually say that.
We both love to spend my money.
Maybe you could try and get to know them better. Maybe you could go out to a movie together.
I don't think we're allowed to do things like that.
Well, as far as you know, you're only allowed to leave the Pack Haven when
You just have to have another person.
you just have to
with
have another person with you.
How much spare time do we get?
I mean,
We
you
had
have a
quite
lot of
bit.
free.
We had quite
Yeah.
a bit before
There's no
we
war
went
on
out.
right now.
Alright.
we went feeding and and
Well,
whatever.
maybe I can try find something.
I think maybe if you put in a little bit of effort, they're going to find out what a wonderful person you are, and maybe you'll find out a little bit about them too.
Especially
I guess.
that son guy.
I've tried to get to know them myself, and I think
She has
there's
succeeded.
and I think there's some pretty special
And
people in that
I
group.
think Joseph's the only one that hasn't had sex with your mom.
The only one I'm suspicious about,
Well, Joseph, actually.
the only one I would say you should maybe watch out for, is that Saint Castine.
Good thing he ain't around no more.
She called him Saint Castine.
She did. She did.
Yeah, I think so too.
Are you going to tell her about the Inquisition now?
I mean, I could just tell her. Should I not?
Tell her about your dream. I mean, how opening up to this woman are you doing right now? I mean, where is he at?
Well,
Is he
right
just
now,
pouring his
Jean is
heart
clearly
out?
very vulnerable.
Exactly.
Well, right now, Jean is clearly vulnerable, but but out of character, should I try to not tell her everything? I don't know. Is there a reason why I shouldn't tell her,
I
guys?
don't know of a reason why. I'm just thinking in character. You know, do you once you open that sluice gate, does the flood just come out?
Yeah. I mean, like, but is there
But I
even
can't
a
see.
reason
But
to withhold?
you know,
Is
don't
there a
know.
reason to withhold that information? Do we not trust her with it or whatever?
Well, I mean, you trust her fully, pretty much.
Yeah, but I'm thinking probably we shouldn't, because just in our games it tends to be a better policy not to tell everybody everything.
But that's purely Mary out of character, just being suspicious. There's
Yes.
no reason you or any other
I
character
can't
in character.
even marry out of character. I can't off the top of my head think why we wouldn't tell.
Yeah, Jean will probably spill the beans.
All right. So how do you do it?
How do you know he's in custody?
Well, I mean, he obviously is.
He looked like
He looked
him.
like
So
him.
there's not. So first off, there's not.
And Saint Castine was always tricky. You never met him, but I did. This is exactly the kind of thing he would do. And honestly, from what I've seen of Joseph, I don't buy that he's a real person.
Okay. And isn't that really bad?
Well, that's
Like,
the
the
well,
fact that he's in custody.
Saint Castine isn't a good person. I'm gonna put it like that. I would not associate with him if I were you. He has done nothing to necessarily... He's not officially a traitor to the Sabbat at this time. So the
At
fact
this
that you're in a
time.
pack
But-
with him is
but
not a problem.
But isn't he an infernalist? I mean, at least
No.
he kind of freaked out.
Well, he hasn't mentioned
I
that
know,
part of it
that's what
yet.
I'm saying.
And no
I
one
don't
knows
know.
about that.
So yeah,
Do
so
I
that's
know
the other
about
part.
it?
I was going to say,
Well, you
Lisa
have the
freaked
dream.
about the dream.
If that's
and
how
then-
you choose to interpret the dream.
Yeah. Alright, so I will describe the dream to her.
I see. Well, this could be better. Before we begin, though, I want to say how proud I am of you of developing these abilities. A lot of Toreador aren't even able to have visions of the future or of things outside of normal reality. So, you should be very proud of yourself.
It's because of
and-
vicissitude.
You didn't do anything wrong. I just want you to know that.
Okay.
All right? So she gives you a little kiss, and she continues. Now, if this is the case, you're going to need to keep a close eye on Saint Castine. A dream is unfortunately not enough proof of actual infernalism, but it will be enough to send the Inquisition into a sort of frenzy. What you need to do is amass certain evidence that this quote-unquote Joseph is an infernalist. Once you have it, bring it to me, and then I will deal with him personally, and we will present the case to the Inquisition as a fait accompli. And hopefully that will be the end of it.
This is suspicious.
Alright.
Alright. If anything, I would suggest trying to... Don't let anyone know that you're friends with Joseph, since when everything goes down, he's obviously going to be a persona non grata. But up
Okay.
until that point, you may want to try and befriend Saint Castine secretly in any way you can, so that you can earn his confidence as part of your investigation.
Okay.
And since you have to be friendly for us and take us out to movies anyway,
If, for some reason, you can't get in contact with me, you should trust Hassan and Lysia.
Okay.
I don't know about the other members of your pack yet.
even Yamamoto?
Yamamoto has always seemed trustworthy to me, but because of, obviously, his position being superior to mine, I have not had the chance to know him as intimately as I would have liked.
Jean is just staring at her in awe. You're so in love, aren't you?
Understood. I will do as instructed.
All right. Are you okay? Are you not scared, are you? This is a very
No.
important job.
A little bit
I just
scared.
want to make sure that you're okay.
I'm not scared.
And if you ever are scared, just remember that your sire loves you very much.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Thank you, Mommy.
So, she gives you a kiss on the forehead and says, let's just quiet down now for a little while.
It's quiet time.
So she just lays there holding you for a while.
Running her hands
Okay.
over your body. Or gently rocking you back and forth.
So as you guys are
Having our orgy.
finishing with your orgy, you can see you see Joseph, and then you can see that he's approaching Joseph. So Joseph, you see Joseph approaching you, and he points at you and says, "That's him."
Which one do I shoot?
And then
Okay.
some more.
Yeah,
And
Lucy's
then
up.
some other members of what seem to be his pack are there. He says, "This is the bastard Saint Castine."
We are all staring at you expectantly.
I'm
I'm
out of,
prepared to fight if need be.
out of character. I'm thinking right now.
What should you do? Is that
I
your
should
action?
never have taken the mistaken identity
I
flaw.
should have taken all of those
Oh,
damn
yes,
flaws. Is that
I've
what
been
you're
thinking about that a lot.
Jesus Christ. Lord.
You haven't learned from Miles' mistakes.
What mistake did I make?
One arm.
That got solved within the 2 sessions.
Exactly, because it became inconvenient. Now Stalworth is learning the same thing.
Okay, Saint Castine would be a higher generation than me, right?
Yeah. Well, a lower generation, but a better generation.
Okay. Is there any way to check what generation a vampire is without killing them?
Tremere would have a
Yeah, Tremere could do it, but there are no Tremere here.
There's no anti-tribute Tremere at all in this
Not in
entire
this-
huge place of.
Well, the Tremere anti-tribute were almost wiped out recently, and so they're
we
not.
had one in our pack, but
Yeah, and so they are very rare, and so that you don't see any that are there.
do any of the
And if there
cartoon-
are any there, they may just not be stepping forward because you don't necessarily want to identify yourself as, hey,
and they haven't shared the ritual with
No.
with any Koldunics.
no.
And there's nothing in Koldunic sorcery that could.
Maybe, but nothing that you are familiar with.
Okay. So apparently no.
He's got you this time. Finally.
There's
But there are other
absolutely no way.
ways. There are other ways, Joseph, to get the truth out of people.
You could just have someone with Auspex come and check him out, and then he could examine both your auras.
Or somebody with really high level dominate could ferret out the information.
It's true. Although, it's less likely that someone's going to accept being dominated as opposed to accept being Auspex.
Well, but we may not give people the choice. I mean, this is, it depends on how important this is. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's enough
I
elders
mean,
here
the crowd
that
is there, but they're not really,
paying
like...
attention to you.
No, they're paying attention, but they're treating it more as, like, a fight. Like, they want
Well, yeah.
conflict to break out. They're not like, oh, man, let me solve this.
Lysia's not sure which side she's on, though.
You don't even know which one is your pack member.
Because I beckoned this guy over and he didn't come. I would think
It's
my
true.
pack member would do so. Maybe this was... Now I know there's two Josephs, but who is it? But why is he with this other pack? I don't know. I'm very confused.
Ah, Licia just gave me an idea.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm blood bonded to
To your
Lysia.
side? Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
I'm sure
I'll try not
Licia
to
could.
manipulate that in any way.
I'm sure Licia could say some things to show that I basically have no choice in my actions with her, and maybe Saint Castine does.
There is one way that you could determine who's telling the truth. They pass some sort of challenge.
I was gonna say,
Ask a question
I was
that
gonna
only
say
one of
if-
them would know the answer to.
no. What Lysia? If it's up to Lysia, there is a way to tell,
Mm-hmm.
and we can conduct
A test of pain.
A test of pain or running of the gauntlet.
And you start hearing chants from the crowd.
I believe yes.
Test of pain! Test of pain! Test of pain!
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So I believe we need both Josephs in
Obviously,
order
yeah.
to see which is,
Whoever holds out longest.
yes, that will be the one telling the truth.
That's really not how this works, but okay.
You are on the path of honor, and you know very well.
This
that
is a
true.
ritual.
The more
A
honorable
pack
man.
ritual.
Of course, I will
Will.
participate, of course.
It's
I
good
will even be an active participant if need be, but
Yes.
because there are two people being whipped.
Yes.
So obviously you need two whippers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say that either that or we would have done. But if it's the whipping, if that is where we need to go, if there needs to be more whipping, I wanted to.
Or you could make them run the gauntlet, which is you all line up, and then as you pass through, everyone gets weapons, and then the two people try and pass through while getting beaten, and then whoever makes it farthest wins.
So yeah, I don't know what. That's why I want the cattle prods. I don't know if we have those.
Well,
yet. It's
everyone.
just-
Well,
but this would be
obviously, you have a huge
line.
crowd.
We have a
Everyone
huge
is just going to
crowd.
have their own weapons.
Oh, okay, so it's so I do have my bull's whip for that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So yeah. So I will let it to Yamamoto, obviously, since he is leader of our pack, which he would choose. But I would recommend one of those two to find which of these two is telling the truth.
So, Joseph looks over towards you, St. Castine, and he tells you, I am willing to endure the gauntlet.
Sure. Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Ooh. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I get everybody lined up in rows.
All right.
And I'm behind. I'm whipping to moving forward.
So yeah, basically, the way they're going to handle it, because there's not enough room here to do that,
We can make a zigzaggy thing.
what they're going to do is they're going to line up in a row, and then they're going to get multiple rows, and so when you basically two guys start out getting beaten along the way, and then once they get to the end, that row leaves, the next row steps forward, and then they come back
They
through.
gotta run back through. Okay.
So you don't have to go at speed, but if the other person reaches the end before you and then you don't make it there, then he wins, basically.
All right.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
oh, David said BRB.
It's all right. He's not going to be part of it, so.
He's gonna
Okay.
resist. He's not gonna want to.
Well, he doesn't even hear about it. He's off
He's in the thing. Okay.
cuddling.
All right. All right. I got my whip. I'm ready to send these boys forward.
All right. So,
Should I be using any weaponry for this, or
Yes.
yeah, you can pick
Yeah.
whatever kind of weapon you want. Usually it's blunt
I
weapons.
don't suppose I brought my scimitar, so I'll just use my knife.
All right, but yeah, bladed weapons are definitely applicable.
All right then.
Anything. Yep.
All right,
that's fine.
so
Sam, you're trying to kill me?
as pack members,
This is the running of the gauntlet. If you are worthy,
I'm
you will
trying
not.
to. No, the thing is, I have so much faith in you that I know only you would be able to get past me.
that's true.
I appreciate that.
So this
So-
is for your help.
You're welcome.
Obviously, you two are going to be in the first row.
Well, I was assuming I was like herding them through.
No. They go through at their own right. If
Okay.
they stop, then everyone who's in that area just starts beating down
Okay.
on them.
So yeah, no, we are.
Yeah, you don't want to trip because they will just start kicking you and like pummeling you into the ground.
Oh, can we
Can I
try to
shoot the
trip
other
them up?
Okay.
person?
All right. so
These
yeah.
guys are anxious.
No, we are. Oh, the crowd is practically in frenzy again. We're
All right.
bloodthirsty.
Can we try to trip them up?
That is technically
No.
kind of out of the spirit of things. They have the chance to
fair
get
enough,
through
fair
just
enough.
fine.
Can I dodge stuff?
No, absolutely not. That goes against the spirit as well.
You gotta.
You have to
gotta
accept
suck
the
it
pain.
up, man.
All right, let's do this.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, let's do this.
If you want to spend
Hey.
any blood points on your stamina before we begin, you're free to do
You
so.
might want to do that.
Yes, definitely.
In order,
How much can I spend?
you can get up to 6 for one scene.
Then that shall be done.
All right.
Glad we got those blood points earlier. Right?
And then, to make sure there's nothing getting in the way, they have both of you stripped completely naked before you begin. And, yeah. So you guys are there. And After a few seconds, the cardinal, who is
I
presiding...
suggest also that since they look exactly the same, we should, like, paint some sort
That's
of
true.
marker on them.
All right,
So there's no confusion later on.
that's a good point. So,
That is
I can vicissitude a tattoo.
all right,
That
so
would be
we will...
irremovable.
Very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
well. Does Joseph know she's about to put a tattoo on someone?
On you.
on you
Okay.
and the other Joseph,
Oh, it's both of us. Okay.
so that we can tell you apart.
So, he says just put like a letter mark on them.
I was
Put
just gonna
like,
put like a 1 and a 2. Or whatever.
put like a J on that
Okay.
one, and then he points over to Star Wars character and says put like an S on that one.
Okay. J and S. Got it.
All right. So,
For Saint Sebastian.
for Saint Castine.
For Saint Castine. Sorry.
All right. So, prove which one of you is Saint Castine, he says. Begin.
All right.
Get to running.
All right. So, first off, give me a strength plus athletics to see how fast you're going.
That is 6.
Okay. And
Nice.
you have 2 dots of potence.
Oh yeah, that too.
I need all the help I can get.
All right. So you start just chugging your way through this crowd. Give me your stamina.
That is 6.
All right. So, you take only a single... no, you take 2 points of damage off of your initial run through the rows. And then that crowd ends, and then the next crowd steps up. Joseph looks over at you, and he doesn't seem injured at all. And then he says, pretty tough, huh, Saint Castine?
Fuck you and run.
All right. And so we'll put Lysia in this row. So
Okay.
give me a dexterity plus melee to try and hit this guy.
I have obviously upgraded my dexterity
Yeah.
to 5, so that's going to
Really?
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You can also spend a willpower point since you're going to get
I
it
guess
back.
since I'm going to get it back, hell yeah, I'll spend a willpower point.
All right. So you do hit him. So what is your strength? What is your strength?
It's only 2. I don't know if I have enough blood to
All right.
do both.
Spend the willpower point on this
I
one,
will spend the
obviously.
willpower point on that one, yeah.
All right. So you regain it back. All right, Joseph. Strength plus athletics again.
6 and a 2 potent.
All right. Again, you make your way through in pretty good speed. And stamina was 6.
Yep.
All right then. You take you take 4 points of damage.
Oh,
Crawling. You are crippled and crawling to the finish line there.
And Hassan, you're on the side that got to attack Joseph, not
Yeah.
Star Wars character, but the other one.
Yeah.
So give me
But
a
it looks
dexterity
like him, and
plus
so you're
melee.
going to have just as much fun knifing him.
My dexterity plus melee, right?
Yep.
8.
You better hope Hassan's a fucking badass. Star Wars.
I unfortunately can't spend willpower blood on this.
Damn it.
Okay. Yeah, you hit. And what is your strength plus 1?
Should I be really nice and spend a blood point on this?
It's up to you.
Please.
I will do you a favor and spend a blood point, Star Wars, so it's 4.
Thank you.
All right.
That sounded violent.
All right, so you it was. So you
Yeah,
jam your knife
good.
into him and give me now a perception plus melee.
6.
Something seems off to you as you stab into him. You don't hurt him that badly, and you're pretty sure this guy has some sort of fortitude.
And you're not meant to use that?
No, you're perfectly allowed to use it. It's just not a traditional La Sombra discipline, which is why it seemed odd to you. You weren't expecting it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Huh.
But it is just a physical discipline, so he could have picked
He
it
could
up.
have picked it up.
But
I don't know.
it seems more
But-
like maybe than just one dot. It seems like maybe he has a bit of it.
Right, and we know that
Okay,
supposedly Joseph was a neonate recently embraced, right?
Yeah.
And probably wouldn't have a large level of
true.
fortitude.
I know,
since-
I have...
Right, okay.
Don't worry, I have a plan now. I have a plan.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about, Hassan.
But he does look injured when he gets to the other end, but you are basically beaten to hell. He looks like... Joseph looks like he's in much better
You
shape
are
than you are.
crawling, Stallworth, is what's happening. You are crawling.
I started having to use his willpower a lot. I should have.
Yeah. that's
You should have been using that.
That's how Hassan handled it.
Yeah, I didn't expect that second go around to fuck me up so thoroughly.
Dude, don't underestimate Lucia.
Yeah.
All right.
I've learned that the hard way.
And the third row comes up. So at this point, you only have about 6 or 7 more rows. The 7th row isn't even complete. So it's going to be a short one.
Yeah.
So you have like
You're
6.5
probably-
more to go
Okay. So Lysia's ready to
until
like,
the end.
Lysia's ready to just beat the hell out of you because you're obviously Saint Castian. Because I mean, you're not doing well, and you do have the big S on you.
Yeah, that's a
I
dead
mean,
giveaway.
Come on.
Should have updated to that, really.
So
Perjuring.
unless Hassan wants to mention something.
Very well, then. How far away are these two people?
You were near the very end of the row, so they're not.
I mean, how close together are Joseph and Joseph?
Well, the rows are switching right now, so they're waiting at one end to run back the other way. So they're right next to each other.
Okay. The two of you, if I may have a moment.
Oh, this is highly.
This is highly
what?
irregular.
What? This is very irregular.
The Cardinal Strathcona, the Cardinal of Canada, steps forward and says, "Do you have something to say, Hassan?"
I believe I have a way for one of them to prove their identity at this very moment.
This is very irregular, but I will hear what you have to say.
I'm glaring at you, Hassan. I'm glaring at you.
Well, simply ask them to use their main discipline for a moment.
And so Joseph steps forward and says, "What exactly are you implying?"
It should not be a problem, should it? You simply need to use the shadows around you for a moment.
Kind of looks over. And then he looks out to the crowd, and the Cardinal is kind of considering this. And he says, "We can all see clearly who failed the ritual."
The ritual is not over yet.
I refuse to submit myself to your examination. Let the process continue.
You seem awfully reluctant for a very simple test.
The Cardinal thinks about this, and then he turns to you, Lysia, and says, "This is your ritual to conduct. You may choose how it continues."
Listen, please.
Now, wait, I gotta remember my dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Zimitzi and La Sombra come together to find the answer, right? To crush infernalism. So maybe by doing this test of obtenebration, that is Zimitzi and La Sombra coming together, right? This is what I'm going with. So I will get the third row ready, because the ritual will begin, but I do want this one test of obtenebration first.
So,
Not that I explained all that, but I say yes
right.
for the...
Joseph, well, St. Castine first, what do you want to do?
Well, what do you mean?
Use obtenebration.
Do you
Use
wanna use
obtenebration.
Yeah, let's say use obtenebration.
Yeah, I'll use obtenebration.
Alright, it takes a blood point.
Use a willpower point. Make it do it properly.
Oh, okay.
And it
I
is
don't fuck this up.
manipulation plus occult.
I'll use a willpower point, and my manipulation plus occult is
It's a
Good number.
Is a high number.
it's 6.
Okay.
okay.
Alright. Yes, he does alter the shadows, pull them around himself.
All right.
Joseph, however, looks over towards the assembled group and says, I have no need to prove myself further. And he and his pack leave the cathedral. They stalk out.
That's impossible. That if he won't complete.
The ritual has not completed.
If you wish to declare your puppet, St. Castine, the winner, then do so. I forfeit. And he leaves.
See, I told you. Told you I was real, Joseph.
And so there...
Yeah, whatever, St. Castine.
you hear a lot of people talking like, well, that didn't really decide anything.
No, that didn't. That didn't decide anything at all.
Because he was winning the ritual before he forfeited.
He was before he forfeited. That no, I don't know about
So,
that at all.
The crowd is basically evenly split as you are just kind of overhearing people
So
talking.
I want to go talk to Hassan. And what prompted your interruption?
His resistance to my blade was clearly supernatural. I don't suspect our Joseph has such abilities.
Maybe we need to change his face back to Saint Castillon so we don't get them confused anymore. Although he can't get rid of unless he can't get rid of the big J.
His
on
face is St. Castine right
Just-
now.
just write
I
this
changed
side
him
on
back.
his face.
I changed him back
Okay.
last time.
Give him some kind of identifying mark that others
Well,
would not
he's
be
got a
able to.
big S on him, so I guess. I mean,
That
I mean,
works.
something subtle
but
that
I
only
should
we would know
probably
about.
change it since the other Joseph knew about this big
Yeah.
S. So I should probably change your tattoo.
I would suggest a tattoo with Leslie's name.
Okay, I will tattoo my name
With a
In a heart, yeah.
on your ass. Is where that's going.
It's a tramp stamp.
Joseph is very pleased.
I can't believe you refused my offer for sex then.
That's a good point.
I just simply didn't look that way. If we had made eye contact, I wouldn't have had no choice.
Okay. All right.
So it's around this point where, the party starts to break up. If there's anything else you guys want to do.
Well, I would like to feed again if I can.
Yeah, oh yeah, you stepped out when I said everyone could get another 3 blood
okay.
points before
Okay.
it ran dry.
So, okay.
And so yeah, the party starts to break up. If there's nothing else you want to do, then Yamamoto's ready to get packed up and leave.
Okay, where's Jean?
No one really knows. He seems to have stepped out somewhere. So Yamamoto will suggest that you guys go check the crypts for him.
Oh, okay, so we'll go look for him.
All right. So he's not in the Seven Samurai crypt.
Well, what is Olivia's? Because I saw him walk
The
off
Widows,
with Olivia.
yeah, so you could
I
go
would
to there.
Go there, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you find their crypt. It does seem like there's someone inside.
Politely knock.
All right. So, Jean, you're there with your sire, and there's a knock at the door. And she says, you stay here, sweetheart. I'll get it. And she gets out of bed, and so you see Olivia, naked, with a few spatterings of blood on her, open the door. And you can see Jean is inside.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, milady, I'm looking for Jean. Yamamoto is ready to leave.
Ah, of course. Pumpkin, why don't you get dressed? Your friends are here.
You're looking lovely tonight, milady.
Thank you.
I'll get dressed and leave.
All right. Everyone in the pack sees your penis. Hassan just
really big.
Hassan chuckles slightly but says nothing.
You may want to wish for the sea to help you with that.
There are ways.
Just because it's not curved like you.
Some men such as yourself can always talk to a Zemitsky for assistance.
Oh my goodness.
Alright. So, you guys head out. And this is another one of those games where we're like 2.5 hours in, and
And only halfway through.
we are finished to
And
scene
we've
2.
done fucked all.
Yeah, and we've done fuck all.
Alright.
So, no, we.
Well, this
we-
is gonna be
we
a long
did
one.
with all. We hurt Joseph badly, so Lizzie is happy.
Alright. Oh yeah, there was something I forgot to do. Also, during the party, you and Elysia and Hassan were both approached by Elias the Whale, who asks you to come to a meeting at a point. He sets a
Gives us
date
a
in
date.
the
Okay.
near future.
And Elias the Whale is the guy that warned us about the
The
Inquisition. right?
Nosferatu, yeah. He passed you basically a note.
Alright.
You just kind of found it in your pocket. You never actually saw him.
Well, we were
But-
in frenzy and.
And he's a
Screw it,
Nosferatu,
and-
so...
yeah, and he's a Nosferatu, and we're screwing on the floor.
But
so
yeah,
we were a
as
little
you're kind of
distracted.
checking your pocket, you see there's a note, and each of you has one asking you to meet them. He's not tell anyone, but to meet him in the Alexandrium Library on a certain time.
And do we know the other one got such a note as well?
It tells you that you can, since you're gonna need to take someone with you.
It's
it
us
tells
two.
you to use the other.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right. So, you guys head back to the Pack Haven.
I'm on a Mexican
Radio.
I try to heal myself and also give that hunter that third dot of
Well, it's not
No,
the next
it's that same
evening
night.
yet.
You gave him the
Yeah.
second one. It's still that second night.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yes, I appreciate it. Hey, I go and give Hassan a nice firm handshake and a thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, my friend. Sorry, the other.
So as you get back into the Haven, you don't you're not sure where your pet is, Hassan. She was in the den when you left, but she doesn't seem to be there now.
Well, hopefully she didn't go and release that damn prisoner.
I think that was physically impossible.
Excellent.
I hope.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm at least he's gonna check the.
He is still there, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to bed.
All right, fuck
I
it.
don't care about his stupid pet.
Well, you do.
Well, I
though.
do.
I'm gonna go.
right.
I'm gonna go look
Wait,
for her
no,
immediately.
I do not. I watch Hassan.
This may be a failure on his
I
part.
watch Hassan closely to see how he handles this.
I go immediately and search for her.
All right, where do you want to search first?
Well, the room where she left from first. I'll see if there are any clues there.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be in the den. Looks like she was around. There's traces of her having been there. Like there's some movies that have been looked through, but there's no telling where she went from there.
Right. Let's head out of the den then and follow the logical path. And what rooms do I come by?
Well, there are a lot. There's everyone's havens, obviously. There's the garden where you were praying earlier. There's the armory, but she couldn't get in there. It's locked. She could be hanging out with the other ghoul. And there is the kennels with the hellhounds.
There's another ghoul here?
Yes, there is a housekeeper ghoul.
Well,
He's
Let's,
Yamamoto's slave, not yours.
Ah, okay.
let's just go through them and talk about them. So start with the garden then, if she was in there really quickly.
All right, she's not in there.
Okay, what about the ghoul place with the other ghoul?
So you knock on the door and he is just getting up. And he says, "No, I'm afraid I have not seen her, my lord.
I see. Thank you for your assistance.
It is obviously not my place to question you, but has my performance been in some way inadequate that you feel the need to maintain a second ghoul?"
No, it is nothing of the sort. You have performed adequately.
Thank you, my lord.
Well, I'll resume my search then.
Behind with her arms
I
crossed.
can, of course, use the PA system to order her to come to a location if you wish.
What that you said? Sorry, you cut out.
He says I could use the PA system in order to order her to come to a certain location.
That would be delightful.
All right, so he goes over to his PA system, presses the button, and there's a big that always follows announcements
Precedes.
or precedes announcement and follows.
Yeah.
So he kind of looks at what's her name? What should I call her?
Tell Abigail to come to the garden.
Abigail, you are ordered to present yourself to your master at the garden immediately.
That's not the words I would like to use, but okay. It's fine. I don't say that.
And so you hear the buzzer.
Yep, I hear the buzzer. I'm watching.
All right. So as you come into, she gets to the garden first. So when you head in there, you find her kind of cowering in the corner. And when you enter, she says, I didn't mean to. I was just waiting for you in your room. I'm sorry, Master. I didn't mean to.
Be at ease. There is nothing you have to apologize for. I'm sorry that he had to use such coarse language. I don't believe he was quite familiar with the situation.
Okay, Master.
You need not refer to me as that. It is. You may use my name if you prefer. I am Hassan, as I have told you.
She just kind of looks at you. Like she's not sure what she should do.
Are you hungry?
Yes? Unless you don't want me to be.
I don't want for you to be, nor do I want for you to not be. I am simply asking you.
Alright, so she tries to follow that course of events in her head. She says, well, I'm not.
I see. But let me know if you ever are, so I can find something for you to eat. Shall we return to my room?
Okay. And so, like
Back to my room we go.
you noticed the last time she seemed to basically find like just a corner of the floor and just curl up in the fetal position there when she goes to sleep.
Can I get her a blanket and a pillow or something?
Well, let's see. The people that you know have blankets pillows are, well, A, the housekeeper ghoul has his own little, basically, apartment down there.
Sean probably has
John has some blankets and pillows, being a decadent Toreador.
Do I have one?
You do not. You have a
Damn
plain
it!
wooden
Elysia does,
coffin.
she's got a coffin with a couple handfuls of dirt in it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, like, cushions and things, but they're built into the actual coffin.
No, I'm sleeping in a coffin, as you well know, because you came in to chop off my finger.
Yeah.
I will at least offer her my jacket, or my cloak rather, to use as a
You're not
blanket.
gonna go to Elysia's watching.
He's nervous about having to confront Jean.
And until I notice she goes
character.
over into a corner
If
and
you were
curls up
to
into a ball.
ask John, he would probably lend them to the poor girl and
So
just sleep on his
Elysia
bed.
is watching.
I'll go talk to Sean then.
All right.
He starts to get into it, and then he looks over. Elysia's standing there with her arms crossed. Oh,
So this
Oh,
is where she sleeps
shit.
then.
yeah. Huh, interesting.
You need to get like a little like doggy bed thing, one of those. Put that in the corner.
Fuck's sake. I'll go talk to Sean.
All right. So yeah, as you're getting ready for bed, John, there's a knock at your door, and as you're horrified to think of what woman it is coming to try and seduce you this time,
You open the door, it's
Hassan
Hassan.
comes in.
And in the background,
God, now
Elysia.
Hassan's trying to
Elysia's
seduce me.
standing there with her arms crossed, just watching.
Jean, may I have a moment of your time?
Hassan. Okay.
I was hoping to be able to borrow a pillow or perhaps a blanket from you. Abigail could use one.
Oh, for Abigail, that makes way more sense. So let's see, Zach. I presume I just have like one blanket for my bed.
You have like a big full bed with like a comforter and a sheet and like several, probably like 4 pillows.
You got a blanket folded down at the end of at the foot of the bed, and you've got extra pillows. You're a
So
toreador.
you could get rid of your. It would get rid of your one blanket on the bed. Although you could also, at some point, when you go to get more money, you could pick up a blanket from your apartment. You know that there is,
You might eventually buy
Yeah.
a bed for
Okay. So
Abigail as
of
well.
course. Yeah. Of course. Take whatever she needs.
And Hassan
Thank you
looks
very
at you
much.
quizzically like, what would a human need?
I will. And then he's like, "What? What does human need?"
I asked if she was hungry, and then she asked if I didn't want her to be, and I
And
said I
she
didn't
gave
want her
a
to be
very
hungry, and she said she
confusing
wasn't. So she's better now.
Okay. So I will begin saying that, and then look at Hassan and be like, "Actually, all right, here. I'm just gonna take these."
I'll just take care of her.
I'll
for
just
you.
say,
I will
in
grab-
character, you're beginning to suspect that maybe you might have to have a little bit of an active hand in her well-being if she's going to persevere.
Yeah. So as I'm grabbing stuff off the bed, and
ask if she's
give her,
eaten.
like, I'll give her the big proper blanket and the nice cushions and stuff. And,
Okay.
is my bed like really big? Is it
Oh,
like
yeah.
a fucking?
It's like
Yeah,
king
you've got
size,
you've
yeah.
got like a king-size 4-poster.
I'll ask anyways. Like, do you think the mattress would fit, or is that doing too much?
You would have to go through quite a bit of trouble to move the mattress all the way in there, probably. You could definitely get her another mattress once you get some
I was
time.
gonna say, buy her a little twin bed or something.
You could arrange. Well, actually, at night you probably couldn't, but you could ask the. If you want to go to the housekeeper ghoul, he could get it during the day.
Could it not come out of my wife's pocket?
No, of course it's gonna come out of your way. You're the resources.
The
for our pack.
housekeeper ghoul also has a certain amount of money.
It has to be cleared by Yamamoto.
Well, basically what happens is he is also a revenant, so his family gives him a stipend, which he uses to take care of like household needs for the
For his
pack.
Okay.
Okay, well, so, I mean, Jean could sense the resentment by the household ghoul, though, couldn't he?
Yes, he
When he
definitely
was, like, glaring at her. in
he
front
definitely
of me.
resents weaker pack members from making use of it, but being a full Sabbat, you have the right to order him to use his money. He is the Jean to you. He is your Jean.
Okay, well, as a man with 3 empathy, I couldn't possibly do that.
As a man with 3 empathy, who also is the resource bitch.
And has
All
low
right,
self-esteem. He could not possibly order another.
In that case, I will offer to give her the mattress. Would she like? Would
Why
just like
doesn't
the
she
bed?
just sleep with you?
Is that possible? Is that arrangeable?
If it makes her happy, I believe that is Hassan's goal here.
Okay, well, Hassan, I mean, she's your whatever.
I do not like the term either.
In character, I will refuse to refer to as a pet.
I would like to refuse that too.
Ellipses. Skolgo 13.
Your responsibility.
I understand what you mean. She is indeed my property.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyway.
This is an
You
awkward
could just
conversation.
take the bed. Would you like her to just take the bed and stay here? It's fine.
I was gonna say, are we done?
Yeah, it's out. But if you want to make another bowl.
Yeah, I can make another one.
What was that, David? Sorry, I was talking about marijuana.
Look, are you talking about weed again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are. I like
Guys,
this one.
pay
This was a
attention
full
to the
sativa.
game.
They've run out.
No,
Yeah,
but well, the
pack
bowl
another
ran
bowl.
out.
I
Yeah.
gotta pack another bowl.
Yeah, I know. So I'll say
Okay.
certainly that
So,
could be arranged.
More from the top.
All right.
No, I heard you. You were
Okay.
I got the general
saying
gist.
yes.
So you're
Hey,
gonna,
was she
you're
couldn't
gonna
sleep
sleep
with
with
me?
you?
Oh, no, no, no,
Joseph
no, no, no.
comes by and is like, wait, you're offering her for sale?
She's for sale. I'm always looking for more property to buy, says Stalwart.
No.
Just,
Isia is loving this.
just strip her naked so I can examine her, obviously. I want to
You know.
make sure I know what I'm buying.
You know.
You gotta know what the goods is.
I'm gonna need to give this a taste test.
What path are you going on, Starworth, when you're
I'm a human. Hey, I might be considering figuring out what this god person is, though.
yeah. Alright.
Fuck
Half of
off.
disrespect.
Fuck off.
So,
But yes, I will bring the idea up to Abigail.
all right.
So I'll go to the room and I'll say, if you would prefer, there is a bed in the room of Mr. Jean Noir that you may use. I figure that would be more comfortable than laying on this cold hard floor.
You want me to sleep with Jean?
Not sleep with, you may simply use his bed.
If that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
Did John actually come in for this conversation? Is he there?
I didn't bring him.
Okay. I mean, like, I'll follow unless you tell me not to.
Fine, but you're staying outside the room at least.
All right.
Oh, shit.
So-
Alright, leave it to you.
If she can see him, then she'll kind of look over him for a second. Otherwise,
You can probably see him.
otherwise she just kind of breaks down into tears and says, "No."
Yes, you can see him.
All right. Yeah. No. Then she looks at him, then breaks down in tears, and she just starts saying, "No, I don't want to. No."
Damn, John.
Wow, John. Lysia raises her eyebrows.
I do too.
Did something happen? Earlier.
I got her some mac and cheese. That's all that's the only interaction I've had with her.
I am not familiar with that
I
euphemism.
believe she may be misunderstanding the details of the proposition here.
Says John, adjusting his collar and sweating bullets. She's
You mean
misunderstanding.
she thinks she may have to have sex with you?
Yeah, so that's not what's going on here. We just want you to have a comfy bed, and I'm the only one here who has a comfy bed. I will sleep on the floor. Just take the bed. You're a human, you deserve a nice bed.
All right. She kind of looks at you, and then she looks back at Hassan, and you can see there seems to be, so with your aura perception, first off, give me a perception plus empathy.
That's a 7 with a specialty.
So is Jean aware of what Hassan's mission is? Because Lysia knows what he's supposed to do.
He has.
Yeah.
He brought a human home, and that's about.
All that John knows. Okay. I'm not going to
I
tell
was
John.
forced to bring a human home.
'Cause I know Hassan's
from
gotta handle
John's
this, but-
perspective, so from John's perspective, he is finding it really weird that Hassan does seem to be taking care of her, because his instinct was instantly to try to stick up for her, expecting her to be abused.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little weird that Lysia is just standing in the background with her arms folded, watching carefully.
And she is being abused, but more like out of negligence than malice.
Yeah.
Which, for this pack, is a step up.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say, this is
it
better
didn't
than-
even count, in Jean's opinion.
Kind of, yeah.
We're being nice to her. I mean, even Lysia can't quite tell the
So
difference.
you can see that she does kind of want to, but then some other thoughts seem to play across her mind, and then she seems to get sort of suspicious.
All right.
And she says, "No, I don't need one."
Would you prefer to have some pillows and a blanket brought in here?
If you want to.
If you
Alright,
want
but
to.
I
It is
don't.
about you.
You notice, Jean, that she keeps directing her attention towards Hassan. She says, I don't need to.
No, but do you want to?
Hassan, just throw the charm on.
Hassan, I think, I think you are able to make a few decisions here.
Very well, we shall bring you some pillows and a blanket then.
Very good. Alright, I'll get them right now.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
brother.
I need to like perception empathy this chick to see if I think she's like happy, and
All right. Give me perception empathy.
it's 3. Unfortunately, I'm not.
Did this chick who
I'm
was
not gonna
crying
be able
her
to-
eyes out a
lucky-
second
you are
ago?
So lucky.
The human
Hassan, that
is
I'm
not
really glad.
smiling. She must
Her-
not be happy.
Her disposition doesn't seem to have improved that much, although she is speaking now, so there is.
Okay, so there's
she
some-
doesn't seem happy, but there
It's
is
happened.
progress that's
Okay.
been made.
All right. Okay. Not that I would know what a human needs and what makes a human happy. But don't ever.
Blanket.
That's
Humans
gonna
like
be,
blankets.
That's going to be your saving grace, Hassan, is at least it does not know what makes
So
a
you
human
bring in some pillows and a blanket and put them over in her corner.
Hmm.
All right.
If there's ever anything I can do for you, please say the word.
No, you don't need to do anything, Master.
It is not about what I need to do. It is if you want my help, and I shall give it to you.
Okay.
Right.
How long do I have to keep this?
And so she curls up under the blanket.
Alright then. I fed her earlier this night, so it's fine.
That's right. You fed her once. That's good. You gave her a sandwich when you woke up this evening.
Yep.
Look, I can survive on a sandwich a day, it's fine.
It doesn't dawn on Lizzie. She would need more food. That's fine.
All right. So, the day passes.
Oh, could I have a last conversation with Hassan?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure thing.
Any
So,
role playing
Hassan.
needs to be done.
Yes?
I had a question about your daily practices of praying 5 times.
Yes?
Are you actually praying to the God of Islam when you do this?
I am.
I see. Would you be opposed to me joining you and trying to learn from this?
I would be pleased to have you under my wing in such a way.
I noticed he didn't choose
Alright.
voodoo. I don't know. I obviously the father thing.
I've
is
got a conversation for Lisa as well.
He's exploring all of his spiritual options right now.
Well, Lizzie is fully in support of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, other than you guys being obsessed with Cain, Jean doesn't have any particular reason to believe that magic comes from Christianity or Islam or whatever.
All
He
right.
just knows there's magic now.
All right, he knows there's magic.
I know there
The
is
magic of love.
All right. So, you guys wake up the next evening, so take off a blood point.
Okay.
Hassan, you wake up, and you find Abigail basically huddled up in the corner with the blanket around her.
Streaks of tears.
Actually, and she's looking over at you. And when you wake up, she immediately just starts saying, I'm sorry.
What is the
ever-
matter?
Don't ever let Lizzie see her crying.
What happened?
He says in anxiety.
All right. Well, you notice a couple of things that are different about the room. One, she did break into the small collection of groceries you have,
And eat something.
and eaten some without getting permission. And you also notice that she seems to have defecated in a corner of the room.
Do we not have a toilet here?
Not in your
In the ghoul's room.
Well, not
in
my
the girls'
room,
yes,
but
but that's the only one.
I mean, we're in a basement. We had to probably put in some plumbing for the.
Yeah,
ghoul.
you guys have showers,
we
but
didn't-
you don't have any toilets.
Yeah, we didn't because we don't need them.
That's tough.
Well, we don't need them. The only toilet
Abigail,
is with
you
the
need.
ghoul.
I meant for her.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and we didn't realize this until now.
Abigail, you need simply wake me if something like this had to happen.
Okay.
Now, let us get you some food. You are clearly hungry.
Okay.
All right. So I'll get her some food. And we have the supplies of groceries and all that, so we can take her that.
You are the Sabbat. I mean, the ghoul follows your directions. If you want to just direct the ghoul to prepare food for her, as well as himself.
Well, I think you're the ingredients and all that would be a daily thing.
Yeah.
Right, but he's got the kitchen. He's got. I mean, his apartment is set up for a human.
Although
Your
also
apartment is not.
Specifically, though, part of his instructions was that he was the one who had to take care of her. He can't really pass responsibility on
Okay.
like that.
Well, he had John babysitter, so I don't know.
He has done that.
Okay.
So it's
Parent-
already...
Parents have people who babysit their children all the time. It's fine.
Sometimes
True,
you
but I am
cannot bring her
counting
with...
the numbers of times you pass up. Okay, I see what you're
It
saying.
can become evidence of negligence
All right.
if it happens often enough.
All right.
And also that I will also clean up our room.
All right.
Okay.
So, you guys
Since I
also
know
wake
humans
up.
are prone to disease. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I don't know if this has happened yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will get up.
So the rest of you wake up. Is there anything else you guys want to
Feed.
do? Well, I was talking to the rest of them. You've got your day set up for a little while, at least.
Yeah,
I know.
You're cleaning up some
cleaning.
shit.
Does Lesia notice?
Well, it depends. What do you do when you get up?
So I leave my haven, I check on the hellhounds, I wander into the library.
All right. Then you probably would not come across it.
Okay.
So, Joseph, what are you doing?
Have I healed up from getting my ass whooped?
You can spend blood points to heal.
From proving yourself worthy?
Excuse me from proving myself worthy. Yeah, I'll spend blood points to heal, and then go get some more blood, because
Apparently you and Hassan are going out on a date.
All right. And Jean, what are you doing?
I would like to speak with Lesia.
All right.
You'll find me in
So-
the library.
You track her down, and yeah, you run into each other.
Alright. Excuse me, Lesia, have you got a moment?
Always for a fellow brother.
Well, thank you.
I'll pat the
I was
cushion
thinking
beside her.
of... Sure, alright.
Would you feel more comfortable if we were naked?
I would not. Now, I was thinking of maybe visiting my ghoul today.
Uh-huh.
Would you care to accompany me there? And on the way, I could ask you a few questions about your practices. You do seem to be always keen to talk about them.
I am. Would by chance your sire Olivia be involved in this in any way?
Not that I know of, no.
Yes, I suppose.
She's always looking for a way to get in with the powerful people.
No, I just really like Olivia.
She's a very likable person.
Alright, well, I'll try to be upfront about it then. I'll say, well, Olivia did encourage me to try to get to know you all better, so this would be part of that. She would be happy to know that I'm doing this.
Okay, yes, sure.
Fantastic. Alright then. So I'll begin texting Haru, see if she's free, if she's at the art gallery or whatever.
Yeah, she is free and available. So when you guys are ready to go.
I will also subtly hint that, I can help him with any endowments. After I've seen him naked.
I have never received any complaints.
So your wife is also very polite.
I'm going to say, apparently you've not had a lot of experience.
Anyway.
All right. So,
Your wife would be quite happy.
She's a small woman.
She's a doe. All right.
all right. So, and then you also need to go to your first prayer with Hassan. Hassan, you've already managed to clean up your haven. And so, Jean, when you come by to go over to pray together, you find him making food for Abigail.
It's disgusting. He's
Uh,
putting
is
weird
he making
things
it well?
in a sandwich. It's like jam and ham and
It
Yeah,
does seem
so-
like a weird combination of ingredients.
and marshmallow spread.
Didn't I specifically mention what I put into it?
It's the same sandwich as before, but there's no. But he's also forgotten like mustard and mayo, so it's just ham, cheese,
Yeah,
boom.
it's just bread. It's dry as fuck.
I'll have you know.
Sure,
I'll have you know. I had a sandwich that was just white bread, cheese, and ham earlier this evening. It was quite delicious.
Okay, that's his
You need
justification.
a bit of butter on the bread, like, come on.
Fuck no! You never need butter on bread under any circumstance. It's completely wasteful.
What if you toast the bread?
Everyone starts criticizing Miles.
Pretty much. We're all
Okay,
yeah. We're all
hold on.
yeah.
What? Zach Mary, you put butter on bread, right?
Yeah, no, there's a.
Yeah, you would butter
it's
up some
mayo
bread.
or it's butter or it's something.
You would get some sort of oil.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't use butter for
Yeah.
like a ham sandwich, but it would work.
Yeah,
if you
mayo
didn't
would
have,
be good.
If you didn't have mayo, you could use butter instead. I would say.
Yeah, no, butter's acceptable if you know.
Yeah, fuck
You-
off, Miles.
You want that
It's
sort of.
absolutely not. Butter
No,
is
yeah,
wasteful. You
no.
want mayo is good. Mayo is fine, but
Then-
certainly not butter.
If you want to go really whole
waste-
hog, you could get some potato chips and put them over them too.
You know, have a
Add a
little
little
crunch.
crunch.
Hold on,
Oh,
just a
yeah,
second
no.
here.
We love spirit sandwiches in Ireland.
Yeah, put
Just
They're
eat that on the
crunch.
side. Eat
No,
that on the side.
No, you put them on the sandwich, then you get crunch as well as the
Yeah,
texture of the sandwich.
get
It's
the
awesome.
crunch.
The crunch is awesome. All right.
So
What's
good.
wrong with you all?
Anyway,
I don't know what they eat in
I didn't
Denmark.
realize
Hassan-
you were
All
Hassan hasn't eaten actual food
I
for
did-
like 30 years, so he's like, bread.
I
I don't
didn't
know.
This is me we're talking about.
Yeah, no,
I
Miles.
didn't
has
realize
real
you
food.
were uncultured swine in character and out of character.
Yeah, it works.
No, fuck off. You don't need butter on bread under any circumstance unless that is the only thing
I
put on
would
it.
say
Anyway,
not
this
butter
is the game
specifically,
of-
but some sort of spread on
Some
the
sort
bread,
of, like,
so that it's not
oily
just
kinda
dry.
thing, yeah.
As,
You want
'cause
something-
otherwise
Some
it's-
mayo is fine. Some sort of
Yeah.
dressing is fine,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
butter.
But
So
see,
y'all
that's-
make a sandwich. Y'all not like put it in a pan and like
and toast
cook
it
it.
up. Hey, I'm
You
with
can
you,
do that,
Stowe.
too.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have done that. I have done that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. That again,
Anyway, we're
that
playing a
again gives it
game.
that crunch. I love that crunch in the
Yeah.
Very.
If you're gonna do
You're
that
gonna-
though, you definitely gotta put some butter on it. If you're gonna
Oh
do
yeah,
it in
no,
a
if
pan.
you're toasting, yeah.
Although
it's
I've
all-
actually heard you
No,
can
you
use mayo
don't.
for that as well.
in a
I
pan.
don't know
Yes.
about that, Miles.
I've
But
heard.
no,
You toast-
toasting it up in some nice butter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you toast it in a pan, you could just like instead of dessert if you just fry
You
it with some
could, but
sugar.
it tastes way better if you do it better.
Butter makes most things better, Miles. I don't know.
Butter
Yeah,
makes it better.
Mark, you're full of shit.
Anyway, all right, moving on.
It's
Anyway,
a pointless
Hassan is
expense and
making
pointless calories.
Hassan is making this god awful sandwich for Abigail. That's what.
I'm not done
that's
talking to you about butter.
It's very good.
So,
all right.
Is she complaining about it? I thought not.
No, Abby
No,
wouldn't
John.
because she's
No,
terrified of you.
the terrified woman that you keep as a pet is not going to complain about what you
And
feed
he
her
yells.
when you bother to feed her.
He yells at John. Is she complaining about it? And he looks at her and glares. She's like, no, it's fine, it's fine.
She's like puking it up.
this is the one meal a day she gets.
I know.
and she
She's like,
enjoys
just
it.
let me have this food, please.
All right.
Fucking- Apparently, I need to prepare 2 meals late for her. Wow.
can we play
John's
a
like
game,
three
guys?
meals.
And some snacks would be nice.
Oh, humans are expensive.
So I have to feed her almost as many times as I pray per day? What the hell? She's more demanding than God. Well, almost as demanding. Alright, so yeah, you
Anyway, let's.
you
let's
see him
speed up
finishing up this sandwich and handing it to her, and she immediately starts scarfing it down. Also, you notice that it doesn't smell great in his haven.
Are we playing the game now?
Yes.
we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay.
Fuck
No.
butter.
Miles, just the fuck up.
I know. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, Jean will see the sandwich you made, and he will advise next time you might like to add a spread of some not sort. And
Perhaps mustard or mayonnaise.
Or butter.
I will politely that she seems to be eating quite if you have designed a schedule for how many times to feed her and when.
I had not done that.
Genuinely confused.
Okay, that's alright. That's alright. Well, I mean, do you remember how you used to eat back in Iran?
That was a long time ago. I ate when I was given food.
Okay, alright, fair enough. So,
Maybe despotic Iran is not
it's
the best.
Sean thinks, wait, ooh, despot Iran. Maybe not the best place to recall.
So, a suggestion. It'll work around your current schedule already. 8 times a day, you know. So how about we pray 5 times a day. So how about every gap between prayers? So you have your first prayer, you feed her. You have your second prayer, you feed her. Something like that.
I suppose I could feed her after my first, third, and fifth prayer.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Very well.
That'd be good. All right. So, if you ever need help coming up with, you know, what you should be feeding her, you know, for a bit of variety and optimal nutrition and whatnot, feel free to ask.
I may need your help
John
with
is
that.
going to print out the food pyramid and put it up on the wall.
I don't mean to impose. I'm just offering, you know, help if you need it.
It takes a
I may
village.
need your help with this.
Okay. Well, that's great.
He's not supposed
So-
to get any help.
Are you ready for morning prayer?
Of course, my brother.
All right.
All right, then. This awkward moment is done.
All right.
That was almost as awkward as when you two fucked.
That wasn't awkward at all.
So
That was fun.
The start of it was.
Yeah.
It was awkward for you.
Yeah.
It
All
was
right.
awkward for anyone watching.
So you guys go into the garden, and Abigail follows you, and she again sits in the corner and watches as you guys pray. You don't really have a prayer mat for him, so but you can find like a
Blanket.
a beach towel. And yeah, you guys are
Burlap bag in the garden shed.
finished up. So, from what I understand, Joseph and Hassan, you guys wanted to go out to feed,
Yes?
and Lysia and Jean, you guys wanted to go out to meet Jean's wife.
I want the van.
All right.
Haru.
So, yeah, if you went over and signed off on the van
I
first.
signed off on the van, yeah.
All right. So the other guys are going to be walking.
No, but we have that other car.
The Monte Carlo is at the secondary haven, and then there's the motorcycle.
Oh, that's right. We can't have the motorcycle. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Lizzie went over and got the van. As soon as John talked to her, she went over. She got the van.
All right. So yeah, all four of you are basically planning to leave, go your separate ways. You guys notice as you're passing by the front door that Lysia already signed up her and John for the van. And you guys check out for the evening.
Alrighty. I'll give John the keys and say I already got the van.
All right.
See the other two start walking off sadly into the distance.
Yeah. Bye bye.
All right, so we'll start with the feeders. Give me perception plus alertness rolls. I assume you're just looking for homeless people again?
Yeah, mine's 6.
All right.
Mine's 2.
Okay.
So I think you'll let me do it then.
You are not very observant.
I'm not.
Really not. That's how I got roped into being.
All right. So you do find Hassan finds 2 people. If you want to continue looking after that, you can choose to. Joseph's able to easily disable them, and so you're each able to get 2 blood points.
I'll take them.
Let's do it.
All right. So is
Unless
that
you want to just kill him, drain him dry.
you can do that as well?
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't kill if I can avoid it.
I'm not a killer.
Yeah, I will also say to you, you shouldn't do it.
Because you really can't let him just
Right.
go off and kill somebody either. So.
Also, as part of my hierarchy of sin now, I can't kill without reason.
He's like, Joseph's not a killer. I mean, I am not. Yeah.
I'm not a killer.
Mm-mm. Whatever you say, Saint Castine.
It's got lazy across
I'm
the
just-
Joseph is not a killer, but Saint Castin, however, I don't know.
I don't know.
Thank
Alright.
you.
And it is the next night, so you are able to feed the last blood point to the hunter, if you wish.
I shall.
Alright. And now we'll switch over to the other two. You guys head over to the...
Mexican radio
You guys head over to the art gallery.
on a Mexican.
So, on the car before Haru's there, I think we'll have the discussion about the voodoo and shit.
Okay.
Radio.
So, Lee,
Yes.
you're the pack priest, so, you know, you're into the whole, Cain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And is that literally Cain from the Bible?
Yes, although the Bible has a very Camarilla version of events.
Okay, so there's a different version that the Sabbath subscribes to.
Oh, yeah. Have you not heard of the Book of Cain?
Zach has
Book of
John
Nod.
heard
Book
of
of
the
Nod?
Book of Cain? Book of Nod?
Give me a intelligence plus occult.
3 intelligence.
All right. You remember Olivia mentioning it at some point, although you're not sure exactly what the circumstances were, but it does sound familiar.
I've heard the name, and that's about it.
John. Well, I have a copy of the Book of Nod that I would be happy to study with you, if you wished.
Yes, please. By all means.
Very good. I am glad to see that you are taking interest. That is very exciting. Cain needs all the followers that he can get.
All right.
I guess so.
And you guys pull up outside the art gallery.
Alright, very
All
good.
right. I'll head right on in with him.
Let's head
Alright.
on in.
And Haru's never actually met you directly.
No, well, she was there when...
She saw you, but she hasn't met you.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so you guys head upstairs, and John, you've got the key, so you let yourself right in. And Haru sees you, and she's obviously expecting you, and so she runs up and embraces you and kisses you.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "It's so good to see you again."
I know, same.
Now, Haru, Alicia says this out loud, right? Haru is your ghoul.
Yes.
And Haru
Haru,
looks
this is
over it.
Lesia.
Lysia.
Haru, this
Jean.
is Lesia. Lesia, this is Haru.
John stands there awkwardly.
Are you not hearing me?
Is there
I'm
any
hearing
dialogue
you.
that we missed?
No,
I can hear you just fine.
David?
just awkward.
Can you not hear me either, Zach? Hello,
Screaming
guys.
into a microphone right now, but not being able to be heard.
Well, I guess I'll just kill her then.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
I can hear Miles.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I'm gonna sign out and then sign back in.
Yes.
Hello?
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 Hello.
Yeah, they're lighting up, but for some reason there's no audio on that.
Well, for fuck's sake.
Oh no.
That's odd.
Okay. Did we, like, unplug something? Hello?
Hello.
Oh,
There we go.
Hello?
Apparently we were
Now it
slightly
works.
unplugged.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
Okay.
Alright, so you can hear everyone now, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Okay,
did
so-
you hear that I asked
I
about...
did.
Okay.
I wonder. I bet that's actually going to be on the desktop audio. I'll be interested to see if anyone is confused watching this later in the recording. What happened? Our speaker must have gotten unplugged.
We got slightly.
But on the
unplugged.
video,
Very, very slightly unplugged. It did not even hardly move when I wiggled it. So
yeah,
whatever. Anyway, so yes,
Okay,
so I'm.
yeah. So you followed me in and you asked, so this is your goal?
So this is your goal?
So I will look at you and say, yes, Haru, this is Lysia. Lysia, this is Haru. Lysia is one of the other members of my pack.
Lysia kind of holds out, or rather, Haru holds out a hand to you and says, I've heard a lot about you. I've heard that you're, Jean tells me you're very capable, independent-minded, and a strong woman.
So he called me a bitch, didn't he?
Men
You
can
say that in
sometimes. Men sometimes.
Yeah, no, I say that. He called me a bitch. He thinks I'm a bitch.
Men are sometimes threatened by strong
She's
women.
not in any way, you can tell. She's not in any way upset about this. She's just like, oh, he called me a bitch. Or he thinks I'm a bitch, or something like that. That doesn't bother me at all.
Well,
Sometimes
I'm having second thoughts about that.
Haru says men can be threatened by strong women, but eventually they come to appreciate them.
I see. So, Jean, how recently were you embraced?
A few. I mean, like, how long was it, Zach? Like a few weeks before.
Well,
I joined
from
the
this
7th
point, you had been. I think it was a little bit vague, but it was like less than a year was, I think, from until the point of gameplay starting to the embrace, and then it's been like a few months since, and so maybe a little over a year, maybe a little less around that time, probably.
Yeah. So I was only embraced a few months before I joined the Seven Samurai.
So you would remember what it was to be a human.
I remember it, yes.
Huh.
When were you embraced?
A while ago.
I
I
see.
have... Hassan obviously has his pet. And although... I have been tasked. I have been tasked with making sure he takes good care of his pet. But it has been a while since I have been human or remember what humans need. I would appreciate, Jean, if you would inform me of what exactly would make a human healthy, happy, and happy, I guess. So.
Wow. Well, this is an unexpected turn of events.
And then Haru is looking at you and she says, Hassan is keeping a human as a pet?
No. Stop this.
They have very extreme words for everything. Anyway, there's a human staying with us, is what she means. Well, Lysia, this is quite surprising.
Possibly.
But, I mean, I would.
Haru can also tell me what would make her happy and healthy.
Yeah, of course.
Right now?
I'm sure you,
Well,
I'm sure you wouldn't mind offering advice every now and then if we ask questions.
All right. She says, John, could I please speak with you in private for a little bit?
Of course. Lysia, would you mind waiting outside for a second?
I'll go look at the art.
Make yourself at home.
All right.
All right. Haru takes you into another room and says, Don't involve me.
Okay.
I don't want to
sorry.
be kept as someone's pet.
You will never be kept as anyone's pet.
All right.
Can you really promise that?
Says Joseph.
I'm
He's
looking to
like,
add my
"Please."
stable,
I was gonna
says
say,
Stallworth.
I am looking to add to my harem. All right.
I can promise that.
Alright. She says, John, it's been a while since we last saw each other. Alone, together.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. Well, she says, and kind of nods her head at you.
Starts to unbuckle your pants.
What?
Really? Did you not realize this is what she was doing?
I thought she wanted to have a serious discussion about something very serious.
Well,
I mean,
she
there's
did.
A fucking vampire
She did.
waiting
She
in the
didn't want to
next
be a
room.
pet. You assured her she didn't. She wasn't ever going to be a pet, and now she's undoing your pants. Telling you it's been a while.
Women. Holy shit.
You know,
Women have
strong
needs.
women.
I know
Alright?
that John
this
is
is why
asexual,
Lysia
but
and Hero or Hyrule just immediately understood each other about the whole bitch thing, because the whole strong woman.
I thought men were supposed to be the more sexual, for fuck's sake.
well,
that's a myth.
actually, you have a ghoul that
Is bloodbound to you?
well, A is bloodbound to you. Also, ghoulizing increases a human's libido.
Yeah.
And also, you being
Oh.
dead, you don't have any libido, so
Yeah.
she's going to be
Yeah.
the one.
Okay.
And you're like, oh crap! Do I have to tell Lysia about keeping the woman happy and healthy?
So, did Lysia, go off to see
Yeah,
the
I'm
gallery or
downstairs.
something?
Yeah.
I'm looking at your art.
Alright, fine. I had it in my head that she was, in the next fucking room.
No.
No, I've wandered off.
Alright, well then, yeah, no, Jean's all for it then, never mind.
Not that I won't wander back and listen, but
So, A, it's a blood point, obviously, to activate yourself, as always. And B, she also definitely wants some of your vitae.
Well, would she be opposed to me taking 2 blood points from her?
and then giving one back.
Well, as you're kind of
then
in
it
the
would
middle,
make-
you guys have kind
No.
of gotten started, and she says, you want to feed from me?
Have you never
Is that
fed from
okay?
her before?
I didn't, the one other time at the very start of this game. So anyway, yeah, I'll ask her. I'll say yeah.
Yeah. You're not... I mean, is it gonna hurt?
This is a first
I mean, only as much as any bite that draws blood will.
Isn't it pleasurable sometimes?
Yeah, it is, unless you're a Giovanni. Well, she says, I mean, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be nice. It'll be nice.
You'll like it, sweetie, I promise.
She said, well, I love you, Jean.
Love you too.
Alright, you're able to take some blood from her.
Alright, so so I spend 2 and I gain 2.
So when you guys are basking in the afterglow, she eventually turns to you and she says, how many women have you taken blood from?
Well,
I
counting
don't
the
know.
prostitute that I pay.
Wow, that's an awkward question.
And the times I've sucked out
I-
Lysia. And
Anyway. I'll say I don't know, but in those instances, it is only food for me.
I see. It's a very intimate experience. I understand, obviously.
When you're in the middle of having sex when you do it, yeah, it does be.
Obviously, you need to survive. I understand that. I was just curious.
she curious about how
So
many men.
look, I know what you mean. All right, I'm not comfortable with it either. I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Do you ever drink from men?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Do
Does that seem to intrigue her?
No, it doesn't. But she does say, do you have a preference?
When it's just for drinking, no.
She says,
That was
well,
the worst response you could have given.
She says, well, I I think, would you be okay with only drinking from men?
Okay, sure. If that makes you feel better.
I will say, just point out, in character, you know that's, again, much like what Stallworth asked before, is that a promise you can keep?
Is it?
Well, I will. I mean, I'll explain to her that if I'm starving, I might have no choice, but I will absolutely try to only drink from men from now on.
Okay, she says. I love you, Jean. And gives you a kiss.
I love you too.
Alright. And she starts to get up and get dressed, and she says,
You know, he's amazingly as unaloof during these as he is with the female twin.
yeah?
I mean, really, it's an I love you too. Really? Come on, David.
He's very... He's a
Well,
very
there's
awkward
people-
person.
It's really awkward, like, to.
No.
It's
So I'm giving
like,
you
you know, I'm talking to Zach.
So, just channel your feelings towards me
You're-
as a
you're
person,
role-playing.
and then that'll just make it
You
easier.
know, you're role playing.
I know, but there's a limit, Mary. So I would like you to please bear with me and imagine in character.
Would you
want to
prefer
pull a
it
Stallworth,
if
I
I
put
had-
my hand on
Would
her
you prefer it
thigh.
if I had Stallworth voice those sections so that you
There
could
you go.
be talking to someone you do love?
Yeah, that's true.
No.
I'm willing to make sacrifices.
He'll do it for the team. He will.
What a nice guy.
All right.
Anyway, just imagine in character it's a lot more passionate, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I just assumed he was socially awkward.
Well, I was wondering if that was where he was going.
Well, so what I will say is when it's with Olivia, like he is actually responding.
I
like,
was gonna
okay,
say that's what
Yeah.
it's awkward with Olivia. It's awkward with the female twin, and it seemed to be awkward also with this woman you're apparently in love with. I just was wondering if you were
with
just
Haru-
awkward with women.
With Haru, you gotta imagine it's different. All right, I'll try to act it better next
All right.
time.
All right.
All right.
So while you're down there, you do see there are a lot of the paintings don't really appeal to you, but there are a couple that you do actually enjoy. And eventually, Jean and
What's her name?
Haru
Haru.
come down.
A.
They seem to be finished.
Okay.
Their hair looks a little ruffled.
Yeah, I assumed they were having sex.
Yeah.
And I assumed you had sex with Olivia too when I saw you guys naked. I just assumed that happened. So I'm just, Lysia does not believe you to be a faithful individual. She doesn't care, but
Okay.
All right. So, it's later that evening that you guys are set for your meeting at the Black Cathedral,
right, I got
but we're running up on the limit there, so I think we will just save it
okay.
for next time.
Alrighty.
All right then.
Cool.
All right, so we will dish out experience points. So, what did everyone learn? Let's start with Jean.
Well, I learned a bit about the Book of Nod, I guess.
All right, and Lysia?
What did I learn? Well, I'm going to learn maybe a little more about what humans require.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying that I have learned about.
So there's that. I don't know if that counts.
It is, I guess Miles is asking that you take another one.
Oh, okay. What did I learn?
You learned about that the guy who pretended to be Joseph
That there's two
has.
Josephs. I learned
Yeah,
there's
there's-
two Josephs.
There's only one Joseph, but you learned that he wasn't the one that you thought he was.
Yeah. I learned about I learned more about the Joseph situation.
Yeah.
And I may have learned what my dream meant, I don't know.
All right. And Joseph, Saint Castine, what did you learn?
I learned that.
Taking flaws is a very bad thing.
Well, yes, I learned that a while ago.
Yeah, that doesn't
But
count.
I also learned that I didn't know that the gauntlet was what it was. I thought the only test of pain was just having one person beat the hell out of you.
Oh, good
Actually,
heavens.
there's a great variety of tests of pain.
Great variety of tests of pain.
There's the fire dance. There's the sun
staking,
dance.
Yeah, there's the sun dance. There's the
Yeah.
there is, and we may have to hold one of those rituals.
We got plenty of sessions in the future.
So we
Also,
should probably test ourselves as to who can stand the longest outside before the sun rises.
How was it that the whole me doing obtenebration thing? How did that make Saint Castine just forfeit? I mean, couldn't he also do obtenebration?
He couldn't also do obtenebration.
Maybe. Or he chose not to.
Or he chose not to.
Well, if he did, wait.
So
So
the
if he
suspicion
did
is that why didn't he just perform some obtenebration as well if he was a La Sombra? But if he's not a La Sombra,
Wait, but
Who was he?
then who was he? It's all very
Wait.
confusing.
wasn't he the one that changed me though?
Saint Castillon
Apparently not.
was, well, you thought Saint
woke,
Castillon was
you
your
woke up
side.
after your embrace changed to look like Saint Castine. You know who actually did it? It was a Zamitsi who was part of your pack that died, although she told you that she did it because Saint Castine asked her to.
So I don't actually know who embraced me.
Well, you know that Saint Castine supposedly was the one who embraced you, and the one who asked you to be altered, but you don't know if this is Saint
This is
Castine.
Saint Castine, or if this is somebody else, or if maybe Saint Castine.
And
It's a whole confusion.
You don't necessarily, and again, your pack told you Saint Castine embraced you. You don't necessarily know that for certain either.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't. I mean, you were dead at the
Yeah.
time.
So you.
I see. Okay.
This has all just been told to you. You have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
Last thing you remember was
You
that
do know
mysterious
you've
guy
got
in the alley.
obtenebration and are probably Clan La Sombra. That's what you know.
We look, the good thing about me taking those flaws is things are a lot more interesting.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
All right, and so who won the role-playing award last time?
I think it was Star Wars.
I think I did.
All right.
I think so, yeah.
So Stallworth, who are you going to vote to give it to?
I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm gonna go with David.
All right, David, who are you voting for?
Good question. Mary.
All right, Mary, who are you voting
now
for?
see, I was gonna vote for Hassan, obviously, because I just gave my criticism of David's role playing, and I thought it could be better. So,
All right, so Hassan, who are you voting for?
so you're the decision maker.
You can't win. That's already gone. But do you want Mary to win, or do you want David to win? Mary voted for you. David didn't.
That's
I
not
did-
gonna affect my choices here.
But fuck
Obviously
you,
not.
David.
Obviously not.
Well,
Oh. Shit, I think I'm gonna have to give it to David, sorry.
All right. So
oh,
Jean picks up 4 experience points. Everyone else picks up 3.
When can we spend?
Well, you were going to be able to spend after this one,
But not.
but I ended up, I'm going to have to split it. So you should be able to spend after the next one.
Because we spent so long talking about fucking butter.
Well, you know,
There was the
you
butter
have
conversation.
Weird taste.
Could
We
I-
had to shame you.
Yeah.
could I perchance have an experience points for last week?
Yeah,
pity
you got your
point?
pity experience point.
Alright,
And
thank you.
I've also been considering implementing a new system where if you guys miss a session, it's voluntary, but if you want to, once the video is posted, basically watch it all the way through. So you have an idea of where we are in the story. You can honor
extra
honor
credit
system,
experience points.
you can give yourself basically an extra credit experience.
I think we can ask
boy.
them.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No, but see, the test will be that you have to give a synopsis of what happened last
Yeah, you have to
time
write an
when
essay.
you come. So you
Well,
do
I
have
feel,
to...
I feel like you should do that voluntarily, not do it for power gaming purposes.
So
That's my take on it.
Well, that's to get your 1 pity experience point now. See, it's not a pity experience point anymore.
well, no,
It's
I was
just
thinking
a
of
full-on-
doing it as a second experience point.
All right. That's.
I feel like
But it is.
I feel like you
contingent-
should only watch it for if you like it.
Miles just doesn't want to have to
Nah.
go through the trouble to get
Nah,
this stuff.
Zach's idea is great.
Absolutely, I don't want to.
Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to. It's purely voluntary.
Yeah, but now I feel like I'm being inefficient if I don't.
Miles,
well,
just
then
don't
watch
miss
it,
any
kid.
sessions.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't miss any sessions, so you're fine.
I'm gonna miss one, I know that.
I'll be honest.
If you only have to watch like one video the odd time you miss a session, who cares?
It's still like 4 hours.
And you don't have to.
Nah, listen, just
It's an
like,
experience point.
Oh, we have to do it just so Miles can be conflicted.
All right, yours is it'll work for everyone except for Miles. I won't give him a second experience point even
Yeah.
if he does watch it.
Fuck you.
All right, so that's the end of the session. So we will see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye bye.